Jailbreak from Thin Lizzy, 102.5 KZOK, Amanda J, and I am out the door, of course, making a break for it. See, I can do that, kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. But either way, I'll be back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples. Most of the roadways are looking pretty good this morning, but we do have an accident in Bothell on Highway 527 southbound at 240th Street. And also in Renton, you're going to see a little bit of heavy traffic as you make your way northbound on 167. Staples helps you keep your ink stocked and your business moving this year. Trade in your old printer and save up to $200 on a new Epson Eco tank, including up to 2 years of ink. Ends 1/6. See store or staples.com for details. Restrictions may apply. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Taco Bell. It is currently 45 degrees and raining in Seattle right now. It's going to be a high of 48 today and a low of 41, with showers continuing into the afternoon. These rumors about the Balluminati might be true. Taco Bell's new $1 breakfast stacker is way more delicious than dollar food should be. 3 layers of eggs and cheese wrapped in a warm tortilla just for $1? How? Try one $1 breakfast stacker for yourself today. Now to Danny and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
I double dog dare ya. Oh. It is 5:47. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Paul. How you doing?
Fantastic, but now I have to do something. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I have to do it. You double dog dared me.
Well, or it was I was playing as a double dog and I don't care. I'll take dare, and then we're done. I'm
Yeah?
either doing the thing or not. Like
Because you don't want anybody to call you Yella.
no, a yellow bellied, exactly. But I would never say, "Oh, I dare you." Well, no, it's far too dangerous. I can't do it. I double dog dare. All right then. I'm just not that kind of guy. But I've been dared already this morning. I'm looking over at my desk and I'm thinking, that's an odd array of stuff. I have some kind of Greek yogurt, an empty hot dog bun in a baggie, and a Red Bull. I'm sure this will all come in handy at some point this morning. But
I'm
been
really only confused by the empty hot dog bun.
Well, you don't know. I could have a hot dog somewhere ready to fill that thing. But here's the thing on the.
I don't want to know
And
either.
I think I brought it with me. I'm not positive. Remember yesterday I said there was something wrong with my hot dog, and
Yeah.
and it was turned out I put soy sauce on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sauces in my drawer that all they all identify as ketchup.
Oh, these are all packets in a
Yeah,
drawer. Okay.
thousands of them.
That you've
Bazillion.
stolen.
Yes.
Gotcha.
There is a KFC Taco Bell combination a mile from here. And I don't like their attitudes, but I like their chicken. And so what I try and do is steal enough of these packets so that they lose money every time I go in there. 'Cause
And
they're-
be honest, are there times when you stop by just to steal packets?
well, they're surly, Paul. They're surly in there. So I looked at the packets, excuse me, and I brought one in, and where it should say ketchup, it says Diablo sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right now you kind of get it, but then underneath that, in a white spot, is then written, "I dare ya."
Oh.
On the package.
Yeah.
It's a rough way to start. I got a radio show to do. My voice has to sound perfect.
As it always does.
As it always does, and it starts me off with "I dare ya." So later on the show, if you see me gasping or running around looking for, is yogurt dairy?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So if I burnt my mouth, that's a yogurt would be a good way to go.
That'd be great,
All
yeah.
right. All right, good to know. I just recently learned that.
What
Probably
are you
from
putting
Mox.
on your Diablo sauce on, by the way? Your empty hot dog bun?
Well, so far, it
Or
looks
the
that
yogurt.
way, but I have not. I haven't done a lot of investigation, but so far it looks like I'll be spreading it on the hot dog bun. Plus, I don't even know how things work around here. Still, everything's kind of a mystery. Where
There are no hot dogs just laying around. I've looked around the hallways, the kitchen.
are there burritos?
Yeah, I think there's
there are
frozen burritos.
So you're
in the
telling me
machine.
if there's burritos, I can't possibly one. You know what? I'll bet these guys will have a hot dog.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what I'm telling you.
That's your full-on
I mean,
belief.
you can say that, you'd be wrong, but you can
You
say
sure? I
bet these
brought
guys
a
have
hot dog bun for a reason. Now, let's see. Of all the people wrong on yesterday's show,
That'd be Paul.
hey, Paul.
And Paul.
The big
I
one.
don't recall that.
You do. It
course
bugged
you
you more
don't.
than it should have because it was a minor thing and you hated
It
being
did?
that wrong. Remember,
it seemed like it was bigger to you because I don't even remember.
yeah,
it.
no, you seemed very unhappy. But remember, I dropped the mic on
Absolutely.
him
Yep.
and you got all whiny
He
and
was
snippy.
mad. He
Yeah.
doesn't like being wrong.
All right.
Well, I didn't find it like mad, like I would recognize that mad from, say, a guy. It was snippy. You
Okay.
seemed a little snippy
if you say so.
over.
He's getting mad again.
He is getting mad.
No,
again.
I'm
You just
I'm
see it.
saying I
Yeah.
don't recall it.
Well, then
And
you
there
should
could
probably
well
see
be a hot dog
because you were
after, too.
almost in tears.
Was
You
I-
don't recall the argument about the white light.
No. Oh, and that wasn't even on the radio show, but so
No.
no one else recalls it either. But yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, but that's not it.
Oh, what else did he get wrong about?
I don't know.
Was this one on the air or off the
Yeah,
air?
yeah. This was
On
this
the
was,
air.
this was a thing that was supposed to be kind of a nothing thing, and then you know how Paul gets about being wrong. or,
Absolutely, all the time.
having to care about his fellow man in any way, shape, or form. I think it was a combination of it needed Paul to care about people and to be right, and he could do neither.
What?
I don't remember what it was.
Anyway.
I'm
Well,
glad we all pay such
we're-
close attention.
You know, I'll get home from work and my wife will go, "You were great on the show today, honey." I'll say, "Really? Thanks. When?" Well, nothing. Like
all the time,
Start-
throughout the whole thing, really.
Start writing it down. That's
You know,
what
when
I
you
would
said
suggest.
that funny.
So
thing.
do you remember off the air yesterday? I said, "Did I ask you about trying to buy a girl in public?"
Yeah.
Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
we hoped you'd forgotten about that.
In fact, I said, yeah, you talked about that already. No need for us to talk
You
about
did.
it again.
You did. It was the thing is because of the girls, I guess, good cheer. I am not in the horrible spot you could be. If that girl wanted to make my life uncomfortable, I gave her. I don't know if she's a pharmacist from Bartell's or an assistant pharmacist from Bartell's, but she works behind the glass, if you will, at Bartell's Pharmacy. I said, "Do you have a?" First I said, "Is it a humidifier or a dehumidifier?"
The great mystery of all time.
Kinda.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Humidifier.
Humidifier.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Humidifier.
Yeah, it turns out that's right. So it's not the quite.
We've solved the great mystery of all
the great
time.
mystery of all time has been solved. So I said,
But there is such a thing as a dehumidifier.
dehumidifier,
right?
I believe so. So I said, and there's a defroster. That's got to be close. So
But is there a froster?
I said, "Do you have a humidifier?" And I coughed at her and said, "I'm taking care of the wife." And she said, "Yeah, let me come out there and help you," which I thought was pretty sweet. Most people point, and I don't care for it, but a pharmacist, I would accept it. If a pharmacist said, "Oh, line 9, probably on your right," I'd go, "Okay, you're saving lives one pill at a time." Okay, I'll go. But when a guy wearing the Bartell's vest says, "Oh, it's down that way," I would rather that guy showed me where that is. And at Bartell's, mostly they do. Safeway, too, they're good about that. But a lot of places I go, they just, like Home Depot. It's somewhere down there, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And they won't say an aisle number either. They say, "Oh, down on the lumber area."
Yeah. You'll find that in hardware. Isn't everything in this store hardware?
Right.
Is there software I need to know about in this store? So she says, let me come right out there and I'll help you. Now, she comes out of the pharmacist's booth about 20 feet south of where I'm standing. The stuff I want is apparently right on the other side of the aisle. So as the crow flies, this humidifier is going to be 5 feet from where I'm standing already. And she goes, you go that way, I'll go this way, and we'll meet over there, which I thought was just like kind of super weird. But the door she came out put her way down there. So it made some kind of sense, but I was already through. The other thing that kind of threw me about this young girl was her level of enthusiasm. She couldn't have been more pleased to help me. She was pleased to tell me all the different kinds of humidifiers they had. And I said, okay, well, this is the greatest thing in the world. She squats down on the floor because she's going to look at the first row, and she doesn't bend. She squats like maybe, sitting by a fire or something like that to give you the best positioning I can for squatting down. Then she picks up a box just right above her head a little bit. And the poor girl could not have been more vulnerable at that position. And I said, how much you going for these days? Said it right to her face.
Oh.
And now,
Well, not even to her face. She's facing the other direction.
now that I have said it, those words are out of my mouth. There's nothing. Oh my God. Depending on what she does here, at the very least, I'm going to have to start apologizing immediately.
Yeah.
Except she helps me out by going, oh, $32.50. She's wearing a barcode on the back of her hand.
Oh.
And apparently, I'm not the first to have asked. I'm the first one to have flipped out. Hey, how much? What are you going for these days? I'm like, maybe my guilt is what made it bad, but apparently you are allowed to ask the price of anything with a barcode on it.
The Pierce County Sheriff's detectives said yesterday they opened a homicide investigation after a tow yard employee in Lakewood discovered a man's body inside the trunk of a car that had been towed there from Tacoma. So just before 4 p.m. yesterday, Tacoma towing employees at their tow yard found the man's body inside of the trunk of a Saturn sedan that had been...
Oh, man. It's one thing to get killed, but to be found in a Saturn? It's like embarrassing. Why don't you just put me in a dress?
Yeah.
Well, they said that this is a car that had been privately impounded at about noon on Wednesday from 97th Street and Sheridan Avenue in Tacoma. They believe the man is a 49-year-old male from the Roy area, and they did not identify further circumstances. We don't know how he died. Obviously, what was he doing in this trunk? Who put him there? We do not have those answers. Police yesterday said they arrested an 18-year-old student and a 19-year-old Marysville resident in the case where over 60 rounds were fired into the Pinewood Elementary School in an act of vandalism over the holiday break. Police say they arrested the two suspects while working off a tip they had received late Wednesday night. Now, on New Year's Eve, this elementary school was hit over 60 times with bullets, causing $35,000 to $50,000 worth of damage. 26 windows had been shattered. The library's window had 8 bullet holes. They said they weren't shooting at anybody because it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. There weren't any kids in there, but it's still bad.
It's some kid that went to school on Monday and said, hey, man, I totally shot up the school with Jimmy. Don't tell.
Well, these two have both been arrested, and they said it looks like mischief. Like as I said, they weren't trying to hit anybody, but they're in big
I got to
trouble.
tell you, there's certain words that I just don't appreciate, and anything that has to do with gunfire, the word mischief doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's mayhem. That's mayhem.
Yeah.
It's a mischief.
Washington state leaders slammed the Trump administration's move yesterday to roll back Obama-era leniency on legalized marijuana. The leaders here in Washington say they will defend the will of state voters who approved recreational marijuana and hundreds of millions of dollars of tax revenue that comes along with it. Governor Jay Inslee said, "We should, in my book, not push the panic button on either your individual lives or your businesses," trying to tell people that despite these efforts by Jeff Sessions and seemingly by Donald Trump, that things will not change.
It's weird. Sometimes I think those guys appear to not know, to look like they don't know what's going on because they don't, in fact, know what's going on. But with this thing, everybody around them has, no, man, it's super popular. Shut up. Don't fix that. And they keep yapping. Sessions, who sometimes I think looks put upon and bullied, now looks like no good people do not smoke marijuana. He said that looking into the camera.
Yeah.
You know, I was offended and I don't even know for who.
Yeah, and he hasn't wavered. Where Trump initially said, "I'll leave it up to the states. I'm not going to do anything about it." Like he doesn't seem to really care that much either
Right.
way. But
Which
Sessions
is a smart way to
like,
go.
Right. Sessions is like, y'all are miscreants.
Yeah, you're bad.
Yeah, and this has been a big thing for Jeff Sessions for a long time. He's been against marijuana and the legalization. It's a weird role reversal too, in that Republicans normally are all about states' rights and the states should have
Right.
more rights than the federal government. And now it's governors in blue states going, "Hey, what about states' rights? Did you guys forget?"
Well, and obviously we don't want to give it up because of its. People think it has huge health benefits, but
There's at least a dozen reasons why a
Sure.
reasonable state
Yeah.
would not want to give it up.
the biggest reason for many legal marijuana sales in Washington last year exceeded $1.3 billion. The state collected more than $300 million in excise taxes.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all on your profit margins.
And, I don't think we want to give that up, do we?
Nope, I don't. This is one of the high-end things that I don't care about. Like, this does not really affect me in any great way. It's just what's right and what's wrong. And the people have spoken. And
Yeah.
the people want legal marijuana. And whether it has all the magical medical things they say it does, it's not even, I don't even care. I mean, it'd be nice. I hope it helps you guys out. Help a brother out. It's very sweet. But, that we have spoken. We are the people. You should shut up now. I should be something.
You should be a
I
something.
should be something. I'm not sure. I was going to say, like,
Some
Senator.
people would think that you are a something.
I was going to say senator, and then it was going to come out sing because I combined it with the king, that I should be a senator king.
Singer.
But it's a singer would be nice. Help you guys with your states' rights.
Police officers in Tukwila say they have admitted to having some trouble bringing home the bacon. Tukwila police began receiving reports on Monday of a wayward pig they have dubbed Wilbur and then changed his name to Nelson. They first spotted him on 65th Avenue South, and according to their Facebook page, a day-long chase would ensue. They almost had him on Tuesday. Officers at one point had the perp cornered, but he is ungodly fast and quickly outran us into some nearby bushes where he then disappeared.
They are quicker than you'd think.
Yeah. Nelson 1.
It seems like most
TPD
things
0.
are quicker than I would think.
Yeah?
Like when anybody says, do you know how fast a blank runs? My thought would be 12. They go about 12. They're big and stupid. And the answer is 30.
Yeah.
Everything runs 30.
Right?
Tukwila police went on to say, "We shall meet again, Nelson."
But they have to change his name again. They can't keep. He didn't come to Wilbur on day 1. On day 2, they're like, Nelson, come here. He didn't come to Nelson. Day 3, they got to change his
Well,
name.
turns out Nelson is his name because he has an owner.
Oh.
They just can't corral him. They called him Wilbur because that's what pigs are named. But then they realized, oh, he actually has a name and it's Nelson. But
Did
when
they
you
try
call Nelson, he
shaking a
doesn't.
bucket of feed? Because most pigs respond to
And
that
yelling the
instead
suey
of
thing.
Nelson. Yeah.
and the suey thing.
Well, they said they have now given him another alias later in the week, which is Monty. I don't know why they've decided to call him Monty
See,
at some
I'm
point.
right. If he doesn't respond to one,
Just keep
change
giving
it.
them names.
Yep.
How fast do you think an ostrich runs?
47 miles per hour.
Don't you listen to this show? I just said everything runs 30.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, 30. An ostrich runs 30.
as of this morning, Tukwila police say Wilbur, Nelson, Monty, all three, one pig, still on the loose. So if you see a giant pig running 30 through
A
Tukwila,
schizophrenic pig with 5 names.
Oh, I wasn't far off. 43 miles per hour for the ostrich.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
you aren't far off. Isn't that what you said?
Yes, you weren't far off.
I said 40 something.
Yeah, what is 43? Certainly 40 something.
Yeah. I may have actually said
You
43.
did.
may
Don't you
have.
listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth?
No, I don't.
The East
I should
Coast.
put headphones on.
You really
I'll be able to
should.
hear
And
this
once
radio show.
tuned into this show would be good too.
East Coast residents are now bracing for the second part of the terrible storm. What are they calling it?
The
The
big bomb comedy jam.
bomb
Yeah.
cyclone.
Thanks, Obama, I think.
Yeah, the Obama cyclone, I think is what they're calling it.
The images from the East Coast are just shocking. So much snow, so much cold. Most of the coastline has frozen, and it looks like a giant 7-Eleven Slurpee all along the shores.
Yum. I mean, I'm sorry for the people who
I was going to say,
in
if
hardship. but-
I was in New York, I'd have a giant straw. And I thought, oh, yeah, I was in New York, and I did have a giant straw. Those were the days, man.
Well, up next, an Arctic blast. Temperatures will feel about minus 15 from Philadelphia to Boston today. Maryland and Virginia, those temperatures will be a little warmer, 10 to 15 degrees, as opposed to minus 10 to 15.
You know what, though? Like at some point yesterday, it was in the 30s, and it felt like when I walked out my front door this morning, it was about 75 degrees. Is it 75 degrees out right now?
Oh, yes, it is, Danny.
Well, that's a bitching, because otherwise I thought it was crazy.
You are
But it feels really warm out, comparatively speaking, I guess.
You know what it is? It's a psychological phenomena. You're watching the news about the East Coast
Right.
and how cold it is and all these storms, and when you go outside, you think that's what you're experiencing.
Oh,
But
I'm
you're
gonna watch
experiencing
more
Seattle.
porn.
America's Muslim population is growing at a steady rate, according to the Pew Research Center, so much so that Muslims are projected to outpace Jews as the country's second largest religious group. The Pew Research Center, there are 3.45 million continue to grow and is growing at such a pace they believe it will in the coming years outpace Jews, which are the second. So by the year 2050, the American Muslim population is projected to reach 8.1 million or 2.1% of all Americans.
Wow, that's a lot of folks.
Yep.
And then I was listening to somebody talk about this yesterday, that in a lot of places that I have called home, the Hispanic community has already taken on the majority of votes. So, but apparently they are not voting by race; they're voting by qualifications. So people are ending up sometimes they're Mexicans, Guatemalans, or whatever, and then sometimes white folks. So it doesn't really matter. Oh my God, one group can vote more than one other group does not necessarily be a disaster.
Well, this was just a religious landscape survey. Christians made up 70.6% of the U.S. adult population. Non-Christian faiths make up 5.9%. So
Is that like Buddhists?
Jews, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus,
That's
and
everything
other.
combined.
Everything.
Only makes up 5%.
Yep. Everything else is considers themselves not a religion. They don't believe
In what?
anything.
Well, that's got to be red lights, because it's unsafe if you don't believe in red lights.
Wait, what was the number of people who are non-believers?
Well, they didn't. I don't think they quantify it as a non-believer because there's not a box for agnostic or atheist. Right. It's people who do not consider themselves any religion. It doesn't mean you don't believe in something.
Are they lumped in with Jewish people and Muslims, or was that a separate number?
No. So do the math.
Yeah.
70.6.
Yep, 70.
Are Christian. 5.9 are all others.
75.
Yeah, 75. So 25% are
Don't exist.
non-believers.
Well, or just don't consider themselves one of those religions.
Yeah, okay.
You could be a Pastafarian because there's no box to check for that.
Oh, so it's probably 23% Pastafarians.
Oh my God, my teenage boy asking me all sorts of serious questions about the Pastafarians and are they legitimate because he knows one and he seems really smart and should I join? It's like, no, he's wearing a soup strainer on his head.
Oh, is your son going to start wearing a colander on his head?
I have no idea. You know what? His mom used to wear a colander on her head and she doesn't seem to be doing too much of that anymore. So maybe those kids are safe.
Well, we've had a interesting time of year with all of the politics. We've had a couple of close races in November, and some of the races have been so close that they had yet to be decided. There was a tiebreaker in the Virginia State Board of Elections, and what they do, their rule is, you put names in a fancy bowl, and somebody picks the name, and that's the winner.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I mean, Rochambeau would be just as fun, but
Well, David Yancey has officially been declared the winner of the 94th Virginia House of Delegates, the district seat, after they put the names in a decorative blue bowl that was on loan from the Museum of Fine Arts.
oh yeah.
So they picked a name out of a hat, and he won.
There was no majority, right? They just couldn't break a tie? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's their tiebreaker.
I don't mind it at all, really.
Yeah.
Pick a name, but it wasn't a hat, which I think would have made more sense.
Yeah, I'd have done it in a hat.
Decorative blue bowl on loan.
I'd have put like 4 different possibilities in each of my pant pocket, then told a senator to go into my pockets. You reach out as your next congressman.
The Virginia Sheriff's Office is asking the public to be on the lookout for a fugitive from justice, a free-roaming cow. So
It's like Animal Farm in the news today.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of loose livestock.
This time they said they've actually issued a BOLO. It's an elusive bovine that has been on the loose. They put out some bales of hay near where it's been bedding down. They're hoping to catch it. But this obviously a little scarier than the pig because if you're driving down the road and you see a cow, it's likely to do a bit of damage if you were to
Hey,
hit
Paul,
Yeah.
how fast you think a cow runs?
Everything goes 30, Danny.
30. It's there. Oh, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
There's a new beauty trend that has some people perturbed. It's in Thailand, and it's for the men.
I'm already for this, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know that
No?
you are.
Yeah, the second I said this could go bad.
Like you'll try it, whatever it is, but
Whatever it is, yeah.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say neither of you would be eligible for this because it's popular in Thailand.
So I'm actually bigger than a good portion of Thai guys. I'll fight them for this. I don't even know what it is yet, and I'm mad.
Men in Thailand are lightening up. Hundreds of men each month are going into a specialist hospital to have their hoositzes bleached.
The Hoositzes?
you still want to fight him for that?
What? The Hoositzes?
Yes, not the backside. That trend has been going on for years.
Yeah.
No, this is the front side.
Now, because Thai men are almost always going to be darker than me, right?
Correct.
Okay. And they want that one spot of their body to be real light?
Well,
You'll
From
scare
what
some chicks is all I'm saying, Mr.
from what I
Thailand dude.
understand, Danny, it's that part in different
Doesn't match?
skin tones does not match.
Ah,
It
Almost
is
never.
darker.
Oh, almost never. Did you know that? Because I know
I'm
the
trying
girls
to
know that.
say it delicately, yes.
No, but in boy world in America here in the state, Caucasian people, it's never the same color.
I've seen a couple, believe it or not.
But you would think you've seen a few. That doesn't give you an indication of all of them. I was surprised when I finally realized, hey, these things are different colors.
I think some of us, Tori, may have seen a couple different shades.
Why me?
Yeah, why Tori?
It's on me here. Okay, yeah, no, I have.
But this trend,
That was weird.
Yeah.
This-
She's like, at the same time. Like, what else can we throw at
Or
Tori?
the Rottweiler was there staring.
so this trend is to go in and have them bleached. Some people say, just embrace who you are, and in a lot of places in Asia, the lighter skin tone is desirable.
Right.
So skin bleaching all over is popular, but now specifically, you can spend $650 per session
Wow.
to lighten it up.
And if you're going to be embarrassed about anything in that region, it's probably not shade, like color. There's lots of other things.
There's got to be some kind of status symbol thing that, it's like teeth. We're all bleaching our teeth.
Yeah.
Get those two together. What do you got going on? That's a party right there.
9 backpackers from 4 countries were sent to the hospital in Australia this week, including 3 who were on life support after snorting a white powder that had been sent through the mail. 7 men, 2 women, aged 21 to 25, thought it was cocaine. They had gotten it in a package delivered to the property where they were staying.
And this is where is Australia?
Yes.
All right.
So these are backpackers. They're staying at a house. And a package shows up. They open it up. Ooh, it's white powder.
It's white powder.
They cut it up. They lined it up. They snorted it.
But were they expecting cocaine?
No.
Like, they just got a package
Yes.
and said, I don't know what that is. Let's snort it.
That
and
even
see."
sounds reckless for me. And I remember I was at a party in 1988 in Chicago, and I was all over the news for being a drug addict, weasel, idiot. And people just kept coming me up and giving me drugs all night. And I had like 3 or 4 blue pills in my hand, and this guy that sponsored my trip there went, "Oh man, what do you think the blue ones do?" And I went, "I don't know," and just swallowed them down, and hoped not to die. So there's a time if you're taking drugs, but nowadays in the
Yeah.
2018s, it seems reckless.
Plus, anthrax in the mail was kind of a
Yeah,
big
that's
thing.
True. Well, in this case, they learned after the fact that it was hyoscine, which is an anti-nausea drug used in high doses. It's a date rape drug. One of these people was semi-paralyzed. Many suffered seizures and hallucinations, and 3 are still in intensive care.
And who sent it?
That they don't know. When you send drugs in the mail, you typically don't take credit.
Right, but also when you send drugs in the mail, usually someone's expecting them. You don't just go, I'm going to do nothing later today. I'm going to take some drugs, and I'm going to send them to Cleveland and see what happens.
I'm also guessing if it was a date rape drug, the person who the package was addressed to is not going to claim that, oh, yeah, I ordered that.
Oh, right. They were going to toot up Becky and see what they could make happen. Bastards, this is all bad now.
The star
It was
player.
good before when people were just snorting random powders in the
Yeah,
mail.
I know. It was good and fun, and I enjoyed it.
All right.
The star player at an Idaho bowling alley has an unusual pedigree. It's a golden doodle. It's
What?
a golden doodle.
Is that a dog?
Yeah, it's one of those designer breeds, a golden retriever and poodle mixed
Or
together.
a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
Well, the video is adorable. They taught the dog how to bowl. And he's a pretty good bowler.
I mean, better than me.
Yeah, probably better than me too.
Are you not a good bowler? Danny's got a reason not to be a good bowler.
Are there people who are good bowlers? I mean, I realize there's like professional bowlers. But like, are there normal people who are like, yeah, I'm a great bowler? Because that seems weird to me.
I would think,
Don't-
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd figure everybody sucks at bowling.
Derek, are you a bowler?
Yeah, but I have to use like an 8-pound ball. My arms are a little weak.
Oh, yeah. So what's Danny's special reason that he gets to suck at bowling and I don't?
He's got a metal plate in his hand and he can't manipulate the ball properly.
I
Can't let
can't
go.
hold the weight of a ball in any specific direction, so I just got to hope.
Oh yeah, that's
You
that's my problem too. The metal plate.
Yeah.
You should go girly though. Put it in between your legs.
I agree, I should. Is that girly? Why is that girly?
That's
Oh,
like what
like the-
little kids do.
I think that's
Granny.
kitty.
It's Granny.
Well, we're all over the map on who we're trying to offend here, but I think it's kitty style. And I want the bumpers up.
Yeah, kitty styles with the bumpers up.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, it's true then. The Golden Doodle is a better bowler than most everybody on this show. But the video has been viewed millions of times, and he is now a social media star.
That's cool.
Well, if you'd like to see Blake, The video is actually really hilarious. It's up right now at KZOK.com. When they posted his last bowling to Facebook, over 16,000 views.
Amy, I don't know why she cared enough about this because it's not our dog, and we mostly care about cat videos. But I saw a video last night of a medium-sized dog dragging a sled all the way up a reasonable hill, jumping on it, sledding down, taking a turn and going out of sight, and then doing it again.
That's awesome.
The thing just loves to sled.
That's super cute.
Text for your chance to get that $1,000. KZOK.com. All the rules and details.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida. Story of the day.
Yay!
It is so cold.
How cold is it?
It is so cold in Florida. The temperatures dip to below 40, which is really crazy in Florida. It's snowing in several parts of northern Florida. But it is so cold in Florida, iguanas are falling off of trees. So
That's
you
cold. Just yesterday we had frozen sharks.
Yeah.
You're walking down the street and iguanas are just dropping, like falling from the sky.
I would wet myself.
Yeah. This is
If
starting
an
to
iguana
sound,
just fell from the sky and hit me.
it's starting to sound biblical.
Yeah, it is.
Sharks freezing, iguanas falling from the sky.
What's super scary too is, and there's all sorts of videos and people have taken pictures of just iguanas falling and then just sitting there by the pool, sitting on the sidewalk. They're not dead. They're not necessarily dead. They're paralyzed. So you'll go over to it and be like, "Hey, buddy," and then he might wake up and bite your.
But
Whatever.
you what?
Wow, what are you trying to wake him up with? Maybe you shouldn't poke the stunned iguana with
I'm
that.
pretty sure that's illegal in most
I
states.
hope you have it bleached before you touch the iguana with it.
Oh, Florida!
Oh, Florida.
That kid should not be listening. No. Hey, we are going to take a short break, but when you come back, the numbers are in. The best-selling vinyl album of the year is, we'll tell you next, wildly popular TV series, True Detective. It's coming back, and we'll tell you who will be involved this time around. Plus, some really big news about the Seattle Sounders and great news for one of your Seattle Seahawks next in sports.
This traffic report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. In Kent, we do have an accident blocking the center lane on I-5 northbound just after Highway 516. And in Seattle, we have an accident on I-5 northbound right at Seneca Street. If you have questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance has answers. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, offers more than 1,000 free online resources to inform and inspire youth and high school coaches, parents, student athletes, and administrators. Visit pcadevzone.org. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Taco Bell. It is currently 45 degrees in Seattle right now, and it's raining. It's going to be a high of 48 and a low of 41 today, with showers continuing in the afternoon. These rumors about the Illuminati might be true. Taco Bell's new $1 breakfast stacker is way more delicious than dollar food should be. Wrapped in a warm tortilla for just $1? How? Try $1 breakfast stackers for yourself today. Now back to Danny and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
In music news, the U.S. album sales figures from 2017 have been unveiled, and vinyl continues its resurgence with 14.32 million LPs sold.
Wow.
That is an increase of 9% from 2016 and a record high from the Nielsen era, which began tracking such things in 1991. According to Billboard, the top-selling album on vinyl was...
Appetite for Destruction.
Something from Macklemore.
Tom Jones! Oh, sorry.
The Beatles,
Oh.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts
People
Club
don't
Band.
already have the Beatles?
You totally cheated. My total guess was the Beatles anything.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, it can't be that. It's too obvious.
Right.
You made it sound like mysterious.
And I thought it was only records that came out.
It was a
last
reissue
year.
for the 50th anniversary.
I think you've been had, man.
Yeah.
I'm
How has
down
he
on
been
you, too.
had?
Totally ripped off.
You had him.
The best-selling vinyl was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. At number 2, Abbey Road. At number
The
3,
Beatles are apparently very popular.
Apparently.
you'll never guess number 3.
The Beatles.
The Beatles.
No.
Oh.
The Beatles are no more in the top 10. So at number 3,
The Bee Gees.
I'll give you a hint. It was a movie soundtrack.
Titanic.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that was
Man.
awesome. I'll give you that one.
I bet Chris Pratt made some money off that, too.
He's probably going to need it for bandages after the beating you gave him.
Exactly.
The other top-selling vinyls of 2017, Ed Sheeran, Amy Winehouse, Prince's Purple Rain, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Pink Floyd, La La Land soundtrack, and Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Did you get the just amazing percentage of dead folks in that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dead folks in that.
Why are you killing Chris Pratt?
I killed Chris Pratt in
A
high
couple times
school.
in high school, pinned him, wouldn't let him up, did that loogie game, embarrasses everybody.
Right.
True Detective is coming back for season 3. Season 1 was amazing.
Right.
Awesome.
Who was the start of that? Was that McConaughey?
Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey
Woody
and-
Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey.
And I heard it was great.
Season
Fantastic.
2, terrible.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. It was about like that.
Yeah.
That was my description. Season 2 was Rachel McAdams, and who was the boy lead in that one?
Wasn't Colin
tall
Farrell?
dude.
Colin Farrell.
It was Colin Farrell.
What happened to the super tall dude?
I don't know who
Super
that
tall
is.
dude.
With
Vince
the bu-
Vaughn.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn.
He was in it too. I
He was in
believe.
it too. There was a bunch of people in
Yep.
it. It should have been great, and it was awful.
And it wasn't. Well, it's coming back for season 3, and it will star Mahershala Ali,
Yeah.
Carmen Ayogo, and Steven Dorff.
Steven Dorff.
An all-star cast.
I cannot believe Dorff's going to make a comeback. I just Googled his net worth the other day.
Why?
Really?
He's not doing so well.
He does a lot of print advertising, and I know he endorses a lot of products.
I Googled him, and if I remember correctly, I Googled Steven Dorff's net worth, and it said under 500,000, which is their thing. Because normally go, great, but that's kind of their cutoff sometimes, meaning we don't know, he has nothing.
Oh.
Well, he does have a movie, let's see, something called Wheeler, the story of an aspiring musician from Texas who goes to Nashville trying to be a star.
Oh, I kind of like it.
He was recently cast in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel called Leatherface, so I guess he's trying to work again.
Yeah.
Steven Dorff will be the lead in True Detective Season 3. It'll tell the story of a macabre crime in the heart of the Ozarks and a mystery that deepens over a decade and plays out in 3 separate time periods. So sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
sounds
give it a
interesting.
chance.
And I don't know about this Dorff character because from what I know, he shouldn't have vanished. He was good to look at, and I heard charming, sweet guy. I wonder if he went and got into drugs or Satan or some weird thing. Drugs and Satan, maybe.
Does not have a star on the Hollywood Walk of
It
Fame.
does
so
not.
that's good.
Any net worth, Derek?
The latest update I could find said he was worth $12 million, but that was maybe not too accurate. Because I mean, who wouldn't trust Danny Bonaducci?
You know what?
obviously?
I am willing to go with what they got. I'm going on memory. I could be wrong on that because this was, I don't know, I looked him up for no good reason. He was just on TV for something, maybe talking about this.
And he's been in quite a few acting roles. I mean, pretty much all through the 2010s, all the way through now.
Give me
He's done
something to
stuff
hold on to, Paul. He really
year.
doesn't have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, does he?
He does not, and I can't
good.
confirm the $12 million net worth, but I can confirm that he runs exactly 30 miles per hour.
All right, there we go. We've got it now.
A lot of people are into Netflix. A lot of people are into binge watching. And they've done studies on this, on binge watching, and they have determined with the latest study what the most bingeable shows are. At number one.
Number one.
Game
Yes.
of Thrones.
Yes,
Yeah?
Game of Thrones.
It was the last movie I binge watched.
Yeah.
6 episodes right in a row.
The most binge watchable TV series is what they looked at because sometimes over the holidays they'll have like every James Bond movie
Right.
and you could sit there and watch a lot of James Bonds. But these are specifically television shows that you can binge watch. At number one was Game of Thrones. At number two,
Big Bang Theory.
Breaking Bad.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. There are no comedies on this list. No bingeable
A lot
comedies.
of people, such as myself, don't think there's the Big Bang Theory is a comedy.
That's a good point. Number three, most bingeable show, Downton Abbey.
Oh,
Number four, The Walking Dead.
yeah.
Number five, The Sopranos.
Yeah.
That's a bingeable
Yeah,
show.
it
But
is.
people haven't seen that already? I mean, they're just now getting around to The Sopranos?
You ready for this? Never seen it.
Really?
Yeah. Seen minutes of it, but no, I've never seen it.
You need
I
to
think
binge
it's my missing too. I think the minutes
Definitely.
I watched looked good.
24, Sex and the City, Lost, and The Wire, the most bingeable shows according to this study.
Also, never saw The Wire, but usually keep that to myself because apparently you might as well just wear the stupid hat all day.
And in other Game of Thrones news, HBO yesterday confirmed speculation that it will not return for its final season until 2019.
Wait,
The
what?
Future. The next season
Give
of
me
Game of
again, yeah.
Thrones won't return until 2019.
So I did hear it correctly. It's
Crazy.
It's crazy though. Do they sue that fat lazy bastard?
I don't think so.
Didn't he promise to deliver a product and took some money?
The crews aren't done filming. It's not all his fault. They're not done filming their final season. So last month, December, just a few weeks ago, they hadn't finished shooting.
No.
And hadn't they passed the books already?
Yes.
So they had passed the books already. They gave up on that guy.
They just gave up. Good. They should. And by the way, I saw a picture of him the other day. He's given up on himself.
Yeah.
Like you could make fun of his appearance 2 years ago. Now it's just kind of sad.
Well, also yesterday, Sci-Fi, the television network, confirmed that it has ordered another series based on a George R.R. Martin book, Night Flyers. Now, he has an exclusive contract with HBO, but was able to option this book to Sci-Fi, but he will not be hands-on with this one. But they said that this is Sci-Fi, therefore Sci-Fi Network is going to be airing it.
You know, aside from making up the names and languages, this can't be that hard to write.
Yeah?
Battle, boobies,
Oh my
love,
gosh,
kiss,
it's
dwarves.
so intricate. There are so many characters.
I found when they speak the whatever weird language that they speak.
Which
and then-
one?
Yeah, exactly. But I was watching, going, "Wow, this is a real language." So, like,
Dothraki.
there are people that understand what's happening here.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg is executive producing Hulu's reboot of his 1990s cartoon classic, Animaniacs. Hulu announced that they are working together on the revival of the first 2 seasons with a fresh episode debuting in a few years.
So
on
awesome.
Hulu.
I
It's
love
awesome?
the show. Oh, yeah. Do you know Animaniacs?
I don't.
Oh, so fantastic. And within the cartoon, there are like sub-cartoons that are even better. There's this group of like cartoon pigeons that are all played by, they're wise guys. They all sound like mobbed up, East Coasters, and they're like these mobster pigeons. And Pinky and the Brain, do you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's from the Animaniacs.
Oh, okay. But what do you mean there's a cartoon in the cartoon? Kind of like Ren and Stimpy watching television on The Simpsons?
No, just like they'll do scenes of the Animaniacs, and then they'll do a scene of the other cartoons within it.
I feel high because I'm not following you.
It's what we're putting in your food.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And let's see. We have gotten word this morning that Prison Break is coming back. Now, Prison Break was on for like 5 or 6 seasons, very popular Fox show. Then they brought it back for another season just last year, just a few months ago. Now they announced Prison Break is being reimagined. What does that mean?
Oh, I don't like when they reimagine stuff.
No?
No. Do something new then.
Yeah, I never saw that show, but I had heard that after the first season they broke out of prison, and I wondered what season 2, 3, and 4 were about.
The first season was epic, such an amazing show, but you're right, they broke out, and then they got arrested in another country. Spoiler alert,
Oh.
and had to break out of that one.
So every season they just break out of a different country's
No,
prison?
Yeah,
the
kind
first season, I don't know if you saw it or not, it had a different working title. It was called Shawshank Redemption. It was
Yeah.
about a guy breaking out of jail.
I could
Seen it.
binge watch that movie. Like if they played it back to back to back, I would just sit there and watch it.
I'm with you. Hey, want to remind you that all month long, 16 times a day, you've got a shot to win big money with the Money for Nothing giveaway on KZOK. You just listen for the new keyword each hour, and you text it to 200-200 for your chance to win instantly. $1,000 of Money for Nothing every hour on KZOK. If you want some more info, if you didn't understand the words that were coming out of my mouth, go to KZOK.com and click on the Contests tab. Your next chance to win $1,000 happens at 7:10. Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Seahawks wide receiver Doug Baldwin is headed back to the Pro Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? That guy won me over with his socks. Like, I get confused with who does what, who's in what position or anything. I've got the greatest pair of socks ever. And they say Doug Baldwin. Well, they say DB, which
Yeah.
threw me for like a week. I thought, I'm in the sock business, barely. But they are so good that I am now reminded of how good that guy is.
You thought Amy had bought you customized Seahawks socks
Yes.
because they said DB on them.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
It's not if you come into my house right now and you look at my bed, you know what you'll see?
What's
What?
that?
Well, kind of a sick lady, but that's gross. You will see hand-embroidered bees on our sheets. I have embroidered sheets. I feel really successful.
Nice.
Well, Doug Baldwin is going to be the replacement for Arizona's Larry Fitzgerald in the annual All-Star Game set for January 28th in Orlando. He's hurt, Larry Fitzgerald, so he will not be going to the Pro Bowl. Instead, it will be Doug Baldwin. That happens, January 28th in Florida. Jimmy Graham, Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, Earl Thomas also headed to the Pro Bowl.
Neat.
That's a pretty good showing for a team that didn't make playoffs.
Yep. Playoffs continue this weekend. Tomorrow, the Tennessee Titans visit the Kansas City Chiefs, 1:35 start time. The Atlanta Falcons will be at the Rams at 5:15. And then Sunday, postseason action continues. The Bills are at the Jaguars, 10:05 start time. Panthers at Saints, 1:40 for that game. So football all weekend long. The Jaguars, they have not been in the postseason since 1999. They're a little excited.
Yeah.
They're doing some special things for people going to that game. So it's in Jacksonville. Their uniforms, their helmets are stupid, but their uniforms are teal. That's one of the main colors, is a shade of blue. They've decided all the beer they will be serving will be teal.
Teal beer?
Yep. They're selling special beer
Okay.
All right, yeah. Okay.
that is the same color
Remember,
blue.
Walter White wasn't even popular till he could make his crack blue.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, you should shower. That's gross. You know what I'm saying?
Blue beer at the Jacksonville Jaguars game. Now, with this football playoff season really coming to fruition this weekend, the odds are in at who will win the Super Bowl. Vegas odds have it at 2-1. The New England Patriots will be the winner.
Wow.
On the other end of the spectrum, 50-1 odds for Tennessee and Buffalo.
Wow.
50-1.
How much for the Browns?
Oh, wait, no. 100-1.
Oh. you
Sorry,
added
I read
together.
that wrong. 100-1 odds for the Titans and the Bills. Pats, Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers, Saints. They have the best odds, according to Vegas, to win the Super Bowl. We shall see. And the UW Huskies men's basketball team will head to Pullman tomorrow to face the Cougars. Tip-off is at 1. Major League Soccer just announced the 2018 regular season schedule for the Seattle Sounders. The full schedule is up at KZOK.com. A couple of highlights. There will be 2 televised games, national games on Fox, which is super cool. And the season opener, March 4th, here in Seattle against the league's newest team, Los Angeles FC.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many teams do they have now? They have 2 or 3.
72. Oh,
72?
how many teams
And
does
they can
Los
all
Angeles
run
have?
30.
Yeah.
They have 2 teams now. They had they actually shut one down a couple years ago, and now they're bringing one back.
Right on. Okay, Los Angeles FC. We will play the Portland Timbers 3 times.
Do you see that Manchester? I think is it Manchester United, the soccer team?
Yeah.
They just signed one guy for $100 million.
And that's nothing.
Dude, I'm gonna have to change my double team fantasy.
Oh yeah,
Going
you should
to-
play
from
soccer.
playing both sides of the line in football. I'm gonna be a soccer hooligan.
So full lineup for the Sounders up at KZOK.com.
This traffic report is brought to you by Boys and Girls Club of America. We are still dealing with some issues in Seattle on I-5 northbound at Seneca Street, where we have an accident blocking the shoulder. And also in Kent on I-5 northbound, you're going to see some delays right around Highway 16 due to an accident there as well. It's 3 p.m. School's out for America's kids, and when school is out, clubs are in. It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Visit greatfutures.org. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Man, I had such a long day yesterday, and when I got into bed last night, I was out instantly. And I realize now more than ever, it happens almost every single night. I put my head on the My Pillow and I'm out cold. I fall asleep so much faster thanks to My Pillow. I used to toss and turn, and if my husband went to bed with me at the same time, he'd be asleep faster than me, and then I would get mad at him, which makes no sense. That doesn't happen anymore because we are both sleeping with My Pillow. If you aren't sleeping on a My Pillow, this is the time to do it. They extended their holiday offer. Buy one My Pillow, get one free. Buy one, get one free. How amazing is that? You need to use my promo code though, which is KZOK. The way to get involved with this is to call them at 800-304-4756. 800-304-4756. And don't forget that promo code KZOK. Buy one My Pillow, get one free. This is a product made in America. It comes with a money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. You will love My Pillow. MyPillow.com. MyPillow.com with promo code KZOK. Buy one My Pillow, get one free.
10 seconds.
Hey, it is 7:00 in the morning because we are like a well-oiled machine, ladies and gentlemen.
Nailed it.
Which means in 20 minutes, if you're sticking around, and you should stick around, you're going to play a game called Name That Battle. And if you win, you're going to go with me and whoever else you want to go. Do Battle at the Boat 114, and that's happening next Friday at the EQC.
7:20 to win your way in. Good times.
And do stick around. Just gets better.
Something's got to get better. I've noticed the two of you, here we are on just the 5th day of January, and the two of you have mentioned the McRib several times.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's
Why
like it's that thing where you say it and you think it and it comes true. Positive something or other. We're positive reinforcing the McRib.
Well, I was thinking if I could do something for you two, the almost
The
the
band?
most
Oh, no, us.
almost the most important men in my life. If I could do one little thing for you to bring you some happiness, some joy, I'd go get you a McRib.
Yeah, that's not really it. I'm just telling you right now. If you're wondering if you want, we'll pass you notes later if you want to what it could be. We'll put stuff right in your suggestion box.
Well, I did look online. I went to the McRib locator to see if I could bring you some joy in the only way I'm willing to, which would be to get you a McRib. The closest one I can find is in a place called Button Willow, California.
Button Willow.
So as much as I adore you two, I can't get you a McRib
You're
today.
not going to go to Button Willow?
I'm not. Or any place else that might bring you some joy.
Button Willow's at the top of my list.
Well, I know the McRib would bring you guys a lot of joy, and it's something that's small and it's not expensive, which is kind of cool that you could get so happy from something small and not expensive.
No, it is. Believe me, because a lot of stuff that I want or would make me happy is, they start in the hundreds and they go up to the tens or even hundreds of thousands. I just saw a thing on a new car, a new muscle car, 150,000. I'm never going to have it, and I want it. But I would say something small that brings me great, that isn't as much money. Okay, follow me here. This is about 2.5 to 3 inches long.
Danny,
It's a little bit wrinkly, but when I look down on it, it brings me joy every time.
What's that?
And that would be the Amy tattoo right here on my shoulder. Every time I look at it, because you forget it's there. It's not that easy to see, really. You have to, other people are looking right at it. I have to go like that. So when I catch it in the mirror and the glass or something like that, I go, well, that's right. I did that, and because it makes her so happy. That makes me happy every single time. And it couldn't have been more than $100, and it's only 2.5, 3 inches long.
I don't think I've seen that tattoo, and I've seen your back piece, obviously, and I've seen, oddly enough, some of the tattoos on your butt.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen the one on your shoulder, the Amy tattoo.
describe it to him.
It's got an A in it.
Yeah.
The long and winding road.
Well, they're separate.
And then at the end of that one, right?
I don't know. That sounds so really
It doesn't just say Amy?
I have no. It says the long and winding road, and then after that, it says Amy. So now it went from being 2.5 to 3 inches long to about 5.5 inches long.
It's like a kind of medium-sized thing that brings you joy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys listening, what is something small, not over the top expensive, that brings you great amounts of joy? The McRib seems to bring Danny and Paul a lot of joy, and Danny's Amy tattoo. That's really sweet. What brings you some joy? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
Sarah has taken notice of the joy that Paul and I get, not just from the McRib itself, but from the idea that the McRib exists somewhere in the ethos. And that's really nice. So the question was that she posed, and I think it's kind of nice that we take a minute to reflect on these things. What is something that doesn't cost you a whole bunch of money, but gives you joy when you see it and or think about it? 1-800-252-1025.
Good morning to Sharon in Seattle.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Danny. Hey, Sal. Hey, what's going on? What I really enjoy is just hearing my voice on the radio. Say, what's going on?
Wow. Well, we're glad. You know what? I wear headphones, and I will tell you this, that even though my voice kind of creeps most people and a lot of barnyard animals out, I still like, hey, I'm on the radio, man. How bitchin' is that? So I get you, Sharon, totally.
Have you tried saying, what's going on?
What's going on?
Is that even that much more joy?
That was the big dog.
What's going on?
I remember Johnny from SeaTac, who wound up moving to Texas, admitted he loved the show, but called us almost every single day because he wanted to hear his voice come out of the radio speakers.
I'm shocked that we didn't all know. I know that a million times. Well, were you guys ever a caller?
Oh, yeah.
Once or
I
twice,
was a pretty regular caller to the Mark and Brian show in Los Angeles. And mostly I was hoping that I'd be really funny and really interesting and stuff. But they ran on like a 25-second delay, and they'd go, all right, well, thanks for calling. They're Bonadici, and they'd hang up, and I'd hear the last 25 seconds. I go, I'm so bitching. So I'm with you, Sharon.
What is something small and not over-the-top expensive that brings you great amounts of joy? That's what we're talking about, and you can join the conversation by calling 800-252-1025. Hello, Bill in Lakewood.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, I'm so bitching too, man.
Right on.
So, I wanted to get it in before you cut me off. So what I like is something small.
Wait, let's cut Bill out for a minute just so we can focus on that. Who do you think he's mad at?
Oh, he's upset with somebody.
It's pink inside, and when it's wet, it's really happy.
What?
You heard him.
Weren't you paying attention?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, it's small, of course. It's
Right.
furry.
Yeah.
It's pink inside,
Yeah.
and when it's wet, it's really happy.
Right, adorable.
Yeah.
What is it?
A little puppy.
Oh.
Puppy.
No, it's okay. I just assumed that he wasn't going to be the most horrible, weirdo, sick bastard in the world, but he is. Why do we no? Why does he want to know what it looks like on the inside? He's a puppy killer, that Bill.
Yeah.
He might have you there, Bill.
You're a puppy murderer, Bill.
But
But
on
you're
the,
still going to let him get you your star on the Hollywood Walk
Yeah,
of
no,
Fame.
you go get that star, dude, and we'll kill a puppy together.
but on the other side of it, he is
Kill
right.
a puppy together.
See, you could have let that go. It was an accident. Sometimes words, man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
Puppies
Loser,
do bring
loser.
you
Dog
joy.
murderer.
Trying to move on. Stop to making a spotlight on him being an animal abuser.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah,
Well, the
Paul.
guy's killing a puppy over here. I mean, we can't really just
You
skip
can't
over
ignore
it.
it, I guess, right?
When I come home from work, my one of my cats, D'Artagnan, runs down the stairs and greets me at the door. He thinks he's a puppy.
Right.
And every day just puts such a smile on my face. He's such a cute little kitty.
Okay, I'll join you in cats. My cat, no kidding around. When my cat, because normally she's a terrible person. But when she's nice and looks at me like, oh, I love you, make me food.
Yeah.
I think that's the cutest thing in the whole wide world.
Something small and not really expensive, but it brings you great amounts of joy. What is it? Call 800-252-1025. Hey, Tom in Allentown.
Hey, morning, guys.
How you feeling there, buddy?
I'm feeling a little better. Major neck surgery day after Christmas.
Is it
On
from
the
all
voice?
Is it all the Drano you drank?
No. Some dumb woman ran a red light and hit me.
Oh, honey. Well wishes to you, buddy.
Yeah, well wishes to you. All right, so what do you got?
It's my the diamond ring I bought my other half that has to, every time she's putting my collar on and off and changing the dressings on my neck, I see it. And just the joy it brings me joy just seeing her and how much she takes care of me, right?
You don't think when somebody says who's like the sweetest guy you know, I don't think that guy Tom from Allentown is
Yeah.
him. But now I'm going to think that from now on.
That's really
what a
sweet.
sweetie badidi.
And the fact that all these years later, because Tom's been married for a while, looking at their wedding ring, engagement ring, brings him joy. That's really sweet.
Plus, she's okay with him wearing a collar. So
I worked with somebody.
I didn't know he was into that. But
She shall remain nameless. But I knew a girl that was cheating on her husband regularly, and there was something that she did with guys specifically, mostly so she could watch her wedding ring. Isn't that the meanest thing you ever? I mean,
Yes.
Oh my God, it broke my heart. And I didn't even know her husband.
Oh, that's awful.
That was this girl was so sick.
But it broke your heart when it was other guys. When it was you, it wasn't so
You know what?
heartbreaking.
This probably the only girl that was that hot, because she was fairly hot, that I never wanted to do the deed with.
Something small, maybe not too expensive, but it brings you great amounts of joy. What is it? 800-252-1025. Let's talk to Wendy in Seattle.
Hiya, Wendy.
Hello.
Hello, what's up?
Nothing.
All right.
How
Well,
are you?
what brings you a great deal of joy? Not too expensive, but brings you a great deal of joy.
It is called Fabuloso, and it's a household cleaner, and it's super cheap. It's like under $5, and it smells like lavender, and I use it everywhere in my house, and it makes me happy. I
Oh.
even sew paper towels and like hide them behind vases and things like that as an air freshener.
That's smart.
No, it's all creepy and weird.
I want to get some Fabuloso.
Yeah.
Sounds fabulous.
That sounds pretty fabulous, too.
Fabulous.
KZOK.com.
Fabuloso. Does that not sound like the legendary Latin lover?
Yeah.
He lives in the mountains. Protect your wives. Here comes Fabuloso.
And he smells good.
He smells nice. Hide him behind the bouquets.
Yeah. Yo, in Olympia.
Hey, yo.
Hey, what up, Debo?
What up, darling?
Well, I always am about the small things in life bringing me joy. But one thing that is free that brings me enormous amounts of joy is calling you on the radio and winning concert tickets.
Yay. What was the last thing you won from us?
Actually, it was tickets to the Spike and Impaler's Christmas show featuring Danny Bonaducci.
Well, there you go. That's not bad. Hey, cool. And we're glad we can be part of that joy, because I will tell you this, and I'm not kidding there, yo. When I look up and I see your name is on the phone lines, that gives me great joy. Not because I love you so much, which I do, but you're always a good call. You're
Absolutely.
always what we were talking about. You got something to say, so it makes me very happy when I see that it's you on the phone.
Charlie on Mercer Island, something small, maybe not expensive, but brings you great amounts of joy. What is it?
Oh, hi there.
Hey,
Hi.
What's 6 inches long, has a bald head, and drives women crazy?
well, I don't know what.
$100 bill.
What?
What?
Who's on the hundo?
That'd be what's his face, the fat dude,
Benjamin Franklin.
with the kite. Yeah,
And isn't he bald?
Yeah, I think
it
mostly.
depends.
Yeah, like doesn't he have
Sometimes he wears a fur
He has
hat.
long hair,
Yeah,
right?
he has real long hair. But
On
I
the back?
get the thing. I get what he's trying to say.
And let's go over to Joe and Lake Stevens.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, and a happy Friday, Wausau!
Oh, good to hear from you, buddy.
Hey, Ben, man.
Hey, yeah, happy New Year and welcome back.
Yeah,
you.
well, you know what I mean.
So what brings you great
So,
joy?
After my wife and I go out to dinner, I like the experience of going to Dairy Queen, and then I'll get a Blizzard, and she'll usually get a cone. And it's not that we're just having the ice cream, it's that we're just having that time together, and the ice cream is just a part of it.
That is so sweet.
Totally winner chicken dinner,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's one of those times. It's not the ice cream exactly, but yet it is.
Yeah.
You go, hey, we're grown-ups. I've got an ice cream cone. I got something called the Blizzard. It's adorable. No,
Yeah.
that's one of those moments. You're totally right on that one, Joe.
And who doesn't get great amounts of joy from ice cream?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no, people-
Root
yeah,
beer
everybody.
floats have been the death of me a couple times. Not literally, but fat plus ice cream headache.
Paul, what brings you great amounts of joy?
playing the scratchies.
Playing the scratchies?
Yeah, lotto tickets, scratch off tickets. So
Okay.
every time Jellybean and I go to the grocery store, so now they have them in the machine, like not at the register. You don't talk to the clerk. They're in like a vending
okay.
machine. So a 6-year-old can totally play the lottery now. So every time
Because she drives you to the store and home, she can also play the lottery.
after we check out at the grocery store, we go and she picks a $1 scratchy and I pick a $1 scratchy. And then we go sit down at the little Starbucks sit down area and scratch our tickets and see if we win.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cute.
that's adorable.
Kinda
It's
fun.
not quite the ice cream cones in each other's hands with Joe, because you are letting a 6-year-old gamble. But aside from that, it's pretty cute.
Tori, what is something small, not over the top expensive, but it brings you great amounts of joy?
Okay, it's small, but maybe a little over the top. I like the black and white souffle from the Fairmont Hotel. It's amazing.
In San Francisco?
No, downtown Seattle. It's
You know
amazing.
we had one of those.
Yeah, the
Well,
Olympic.
Normally, I would
Yum.
not take Tori's advice when it says, "Oh, this is going to be food." She's not where you normally go for food advice, but I'll try that later today.
Okay, something small, not over the top expensive that I know brings me and Tori great amounts of joy.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yes, I back
The caramel
that.
macchiato, I mean,
With coconut milk.
yum. And you show up with Starbucks for me and Tori, big smile on our faces.
Yeah, for so many people, cup of coffee.
Yep.
Is what does it?
Derek, what is it for you?
Blue raspberry super blow pop. They cost about 25 cents, but when I get one of those in my mouth and I start sucking on it, I'm the happiest guy on the planet.
He's so right.
He's so right.
On that note, I think it's time to play one final round of Name That Battle.
Name that battle.
You can win a pair of tickets to Battle at the Boat 114 next Friday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. If you would like to win, call right now, 800-252-1025. We are giving you one last chance to win your way into Battle at the Boat 114 next Friday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. It is hosted by
Danny Boom Boom Bonaducci. Right?
Wow, I think he's going to pass
Jeez,
out.
wow.
That's right, right?
That
That is right. Yeah.
Yes. be really funny if I was like, no, it's Derek hosting.
That'd be weird.
You can buy your tickets on their website now, or you can win them, but you'll have to answer the clue that Danny's going to read about a famous battle. Our contestant is Rafi, calling from Bothell.
Rafi, my kids used to love you. Thank you. All right, how you doing there, Rafi? Oh, Rafi, you have to answer these questions. How you doing, Rafi?
Oh, we lost Rafi. Rafi's phone cut out.
Oh, man, he gave me such a decent reaction, and my kids used to love you.
She.
Who?
Maybe that's why she hung up. Her name is
Rafi a girl?
Rafaela.
How do you know that?
Oh, she sounded like a girl when she laughed.
He said it was Rafi.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a girl, Rafi. I know one Rafi, and it's a guitar player.
Rafaela.
Zero.
Oh, I know one Rafael. He's a turtle.
Let's talk to our girlfriend Teddy here.
Yeah. How is she, Ted?
Hi, Ted.
Oh, really? No, it's a guy, and it's Ted Heritage.
How you doing there, buddy?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
On occasion.
All right. Do you understand the rules of the game?
No, I don't.
Okay, here's what happens. I read you a clue about a famous battle. You tell me what battle that was. You go with me to battle at the boat 114.
Wonderful.
All right, then here we go. Ready? Here we go. This famous type of battle/performance art was immortalized in a 2002 film. In the movie, Jimmy Smith Jr., a.k.a. B. Rabbit, rose above his humble trailer park upbringing to make a name for himself in the hip-hop world, mostly by yelling "Yo Mama" jokes at lightning pace. Can you name that battle?
Golly, damn you live. Golly, 10 more seconds.
Wait just 10 more seconds, I'll Google it.
I'm not even sure what you're Googling.
On MTV, you know, Battle of the Bloody Well.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Ted doesn't know it, but I love Ted's try.
I love that he has never said die, man.
Wow. Okay, Chris and Factoria, would you like Danny to read the clue again?
Don't think I need it. That was the rap battle in 8 Mile.
That was the rap battles. Good enough, buddy.
Rap battle. Nice job, Chris. You are joining Danny at Battle at the Boat 114 next Friday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. You're headed to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets, and the rest of you can get your tickets right now from the EQC.
This traffic report is brought to you by Sylvania's Silver Star Ultra headlights. We are seeing some delays still in Seattle, even though the accident has been cleared on I-5 northbound at Seneca Street. Still some backed up traffic there. And in Bellevue on I-405 northbound, just after I-90, seeing about a 30-minute delay there as well. Do you want to see better when driving at night? When it comes to headlights, you have choices. Sylvania's Silver Star Ultra headlights help you see farther, wider, and better at night. They're a smart choice for you and your family. Choose their farthest down road headlights. Sylvania Silver Star Ultra. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Compassion International. It is currently 45 degrees in Seattle right now under cloudy skies. It's going to be a high of 48 today and a low of 41 with showers continuing into the afternoon. Every child is born with talents, hopes, and dreams, but poverty will steal those dreams. You can help a child find hope when you become their sponsor with Compassion International. Give a child a chance to dream again. Find out how at compassion.com/radio. Now back to Danny and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
Just a quick reminder that coming up not too far in the future, if you know where Sarah's Beaver's been, you're going to win a pair of tickets to see Ann Wilson of Heart February 9th at the EQC.
All right, that happens at 7:50. And next, the big news of the day, some of the stories we'll be tackling. That tell-all book about Donald Trump, the release date was changed. We have got the latest on that. A wild update to the story of D.B. Cooper. And a new trend helping women get pregnant. It's not Olive Garden, but we'll tell you what people are doing next.
That's right. Back up because I have no idea how big this thing gets. It's the big news of the day, and it's brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
Fire and Fury. That is the name of the explosive new book about Donald Trump. Donald Trump wanted to stop this book from coming out. Its author is Michael Wolff. And according to its publisher, demand is such that they decided to move up the release date. It is available now. It is already a bestseller. It got released hours ago, and they're already saying this is a bestseller.
Also, you can add to that the fact that a lot of people think the president might get his way and shut this book down, so you better get it while the getting's good.
That's right.
And I'm interested. I want to know, although I find it's also crazy. I like a normal president gets involved in a normal scandal or something like that, and you can follow it, and it's kind of fun. This is just such mayhem.
It is, and this man, Michael Wolff, has made a lot of allegations, and Donald Trump has tried to say it's all fake, that he had access to the White House, and then now Donald Trump saying he didn't, and they're trying to combat this because it's not going to paint Donald Trump in a very flattering light.
Right, but what does?
Good point.
Hey, not much. I think he just doesn't want the book to come out because he doesn't want to have to read a book.
And he doesn't want what Bannon. Bannon was really helpful in this book, and I don't think he wants to help with that.
Yep. What did he call him this morning?
Sloppy Steve.
Sloppy Steve.
Sloppy Steve.
Have we had another president in history, maybe Nixon, that like made up like just childish nicknames?
No, Nixon was, aside from his propensity to break into hotels.
Yeah.
He was a good president,
Right.
a normal guy, won by a landslide. No, Trump's way crazier than Nixon.
Sloppy Steve.
The nicknames are a bit strange.
It's crazy.
A team of stalwart...
Little Rocket Man.
Yeah. Yeah. A team of stalwart investigators committed to solving the decades-old case of D.B. Cooper. Well, those investigators think they have identified who he is.
Wow.
Now, of course, he took over a Boeing passenger plane in 1971, jumped out in a parachute, never to be seen again. Well, there is a 40-member cold case team led by a documentary filmmaker who say they have cracked the code of his true identity. They said there is a letter believed to have been written by D.B. Cooper sent to news outlets after the fact that led them to Vietnam War veteran Robert W. Rackstraw. He was investigated in the 1970s by the FBI, and they believe that the keys to the case now lie in this 1971 letter that was sent, they allege, by D.B. Cooper, and it's now been published. They said that they have deciphered all sorts of signals that link codes to 3 masked army units that Rackstraw was part of during his service.
I didn't know that D.B. Cooper did any codes or things like that. I thought he jumped out of the plane and never to be heard from again.
He, according to these ones, sent a letter, and there was a code in this that they have now cracked. And they said that they have corroborated that now it is this Rackstraw dude.
Okay, is he dead or alive?
I don't believe he's still alive, but they're coming out with another documentary about D.B. Cooper to try and tell everybody. So it's a little bit of a cliffhanger because they want people to watch the documentary.
Not if they know it's him and he's dead. I'm done hanging off cliffs.
I want to watch it though because it's apparently more to this story that I had no idea about.
What did you think?
Just the same thing, that he jumped out of the plane, had the money, never be seen again.
And I thought that he had left the trail a little bit, that it turned out to be a guy that worked at Boeing, that worked on planes.
Yeah, I've heard like people's suspicions throughout the years, different.
So I thought maybe it was that. But I have always been to the opinion he jumped out of the plane and died. They didn't make it. He landed in a force, broke his neck.
When the FBI closed the case a couple of months ago, they released this letter. And the letter starts saying, "Sirs, I knew from the start that I wouldn't be caught." It was postmarked December 11th of 1971, and it was signed D.B. Cooper.
And he sent that to the FBI?
Yep.
Wow.
And so, yeah, they believe that this is Robert W. Rackstraw.
Wow, amazing.
Well, we've heard a lot of women go to great lengths to try to get pregnant.
Yeah, some have gone so far as to have sex with me.
Well, you have 2 children that you know of. Now, I don't know if you tried this, but some people say when you finish the activity that gets women pregnant, that you're supposed to kind of hang upside down and lift your legs high up in the air.
Why the hell would I do that?
They would do that.
Yeah.
The woman.
Oh, well, that's totally different.
Yeah.
So once it's finished, you kind of go upside down, you stick your legs way high up in the air. They
So you use gravity in your favor instead of to work against you.
Yes. And some people say there's some other methods that you can do to try to get pregnant. There is a new trend that women, according to the research on channelmum.com, are going to McDonald's immediately after adult relations to eat their French fries.
See, there's a huge problem with that.
What?
Because I've never met one woman that the second we're done making love can get up and go anywhere. Then you're like hour and a half just to lay there in the puddle of sweat that has engulfed their body, and then they'll make this sound. Woo! And then they'll go get fries.
So what he's saying is he's never met one woman.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
There's no evidence to this. It's sort of an old wives' tale, but
What Danny's saying, yeah, there's definitely no evidence.
But
to
the
that.
roll up and put your knees next to your head thing, I've seen people try. It's hysterical,
Yep.
by the way.
yeah.
well, they're now saying have happy times with the person you're trying to procreate with, and then right afterwards go eat McDonald's French fries.
All right. Any reason to eat McDonald's French fries? Okay with me.
Yeah.
Just have sex in the McDonald's and the fries are right there waiting for you.
Yeah,
There
at
you
least
go.
in the drive-through.
People on Twitter have started the new year doing something a little bit fun. A Twitter user named Matt Whitlock tweeted a simple game that has now taken the internet by storm. It is figuring out what your rap name is.
Yeah.
And the way to do it is your rap name is Lil plus the first thing you spent money on in 2018. So, Paul, what would you say? Okay, your rap name is going to be Lil plus
Lil.
the first thing you spent money on in 2018.
It's tough. Like first of the year. Oh, I had to reload the balance on Jelly Bean's lunch account at school. So I'd be like Lil Cafeteria Food. That's my rap name. What up, Lil Cafeteria
Yo,
Food?
yo, yo. Nothing but respect. Mine, I guess, would have to be Lil Hot Pocket.
Nice. I like that a lot.
Lil Hot Pocket seems right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, can I be featured on the next hottest
All
track
right, fair
with
enough.
Lil Hot
but
Pocket?
you have to do battle with me.
Yeah.
All right, so I know this will probably come as no surprise. The first thing I did is I went to the convenience store and bought beer.
Right.
Lil Six Pack.
Oh, that's
really
good. Yeah.
good.
All right, Tori, what is your rap name? Lil plus the first thing you bought in 2018.
Lil non-fat caramel macchiato.
Rolls right off the tongue.
I'm afraid to ask. Derek, what's yours?
Lil Red Bull.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
not bad.
Pretty
That's not
good.
bad at all.
I think mine's the lamest rap name.
I think I would agree. What are you again?
Lil Cafeteria Food.
7 Jacksonville Jaguars offensive linemen are having some new jewelry to wear around town this weekend. They made playoffs for the first time in forever. Running back Leonard Fournette purchased their starting offensive line at Rolexes.
Yeah.
Wow.
The watches. They said he had an amazing season. He rushed over 1,000 yards as a rookie. And he said, I didn't do this alone. This was a team effort. This is a huge season for us. He bought them all Rolexes.
And like, what's the low end Rolex cost? $5,000?
I was going to say 10, but either way,
Yeah,
it's,
All of us are just guessing, I think.
yeah, it's a lot of loot. So all these guys got a brand new Rolex. He had their number and initials engraved on the back as well.
That's pretty cool.
Good to be a ball player.
Yeah, I got to make friends with Leonard Fournette. The big news of the day this morning, it was brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online at goldbergjones.com. Hey, it's time for people to start calling.
All right. Call 1-800-252-1025. We want to know where your beaver has been. Is that correct?
That's right. You could win a pair of tickets to see Ann Wilson of Heart February 9th at the Emerald Queen Casino. If you can tell us where Sarah's beaver has been, call right now. You guys should be calling now.
I do.
You want to win those tickets.
Do.
800-252-1025.
I do. Looking around, all around town, because Sarah's Beaver's on Patches the Clown. Hello, Sarah. Would you give me a clue? I was a little loud. I'll find your beaver and I'll be calling you. Where's Sarah's Beaver? I gotta know. Where's Sarah's Beaver? I gotta know. Where's Sarah's Beaver? I want to win on Danny's show on KZOK.
Well, call right now at 800-252-1025 because the prize, a pair of tickets to see Ann Wilson of Heart playing the Emerald Queen Casino February 9th.
It's an awesome prize.
It's
That is an awesome
really great prize. Each week, the Beaver goes someplace new, and we post those pictures at KZOK.com right there on the contest page. She also has a Facebook page, very popular, Facebook.com/Sarah's Beaver.
Just put her on Instagram and make her look like, first take pictures of a beaver and then make her look like a beaver. And give her bigger, bucker teether. I don't really
Put like a
understand.
beaver filter.
Beaver filter on the
yeah.
beaver. See, thanks for getting me, Paul, because I realized I might not know what I'm talking about.
I think that one's Snapchat, though.
Yeah, same thing. I don't care.
All right, let's see. Who is our contestant? It looks like we've got Katrina in Everett. Have you seen the Beaver, Katrina?
Hi, Katrina.
He's waving at you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What do you got for us?
The Beaver has been at KZOK's new studio.
She's right.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
But
She got it
true.
right and called you a has-been.
all
Yeah.
at the same time, yeah.
Katrina.
Well, we're
Like
in
my
brand
new
new
favorite
studios. Katrina decided to take a look at the Facebook page and KZOK.com. Right in front of our brand new building with that grain silo, and she wanted to go for a dip in Elliott Bay. It was a big outing.
Big day for the Beaver.
Congratulations to Katrina. She's headed to the Jeep winners window to wave, and she is going to see Ann Wilson of Heart February 9th at the EQC.
This traffic report is brought to you by Foundation for a Better Life. We are seeing some stop-and-go traffic on I-5 northbound as you make your way through Boeing Field. And over on I-405 northbound, you're going to hit a bit of bad traffic as you make your way through Renton. Deaf and blind Helen Keller overcame her world of darkness. Foresight, pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey, it is 8 o'clock in the morning, and you're probably wondering, what should I do today? What's important today? I know it's the iHeartRadio app. KZOK is streaming live right now, and on the iHeartRadio app, you can get it. The app has all your favorite music, your favorite stations, all free of charge, plus thousands of podcasts, including ours. They're available, and you can download them easy to do on the iHeartRadio app.
Looking at the forecast for the next couple of days, wow, 40s rain every single day. This is what weather's like around here this time of year. I guess we're used to that. But on the East Coast, up and down the East Coast, it's mayhem.
Mayhem.
They've got snow in Florida, which hasn't happened in something like 30 years, having significant snowfall. And there's over a foot of snow in New England. New York City is shut down, Washington, D.C. And after they got all the
I would snow ski, and then when I didn't, I gave up snow skiing, but still went up to the lodge. I had a lot of fun at the lodges.
Yeah.
I would have a thing called a hot buttered, some people call it a hot battered, but either hot buttered or battered rum. One of the most amazing hot toddies ever.
That sounds pretty delightful. I think that something I do that's sort of my, I don't know, mood enhancer this time of year when you start to feel kind of down from
It's not rum for you? Because that seems like that should work for everyone.
I need to build a fire.
Oh, yeah.
All day long, I look forward to what time can I build a fire. And I have to have a real fireplace. I don't want a gas fireplace. I need a real wood burning fire.
Why do you have to look forward all day to what time can you start a fire?
I don't like to have it if the sun is out at all. So in the afternoon, if there's some breaks of sun, I like to wait till the sun goes down. So like 4 o'clock. And I'll actually go online and look and see what time is sunset. And that's what time I light the fire.
Wow, that's a strict rule.
I like to burn stuff, but I don't put nearly that much thought into it.
What about you guys listening? Do you have a tip or some sort of trick to get through these winter months? What is it for you? It's hot toddies for Danny. Well, I guess maybe formerly hot toddies.
No, you can still the batter itself that you can buy at the store, pre-made, works. Is maybe even be better without the rum.
Look at
It doesn't have the
you.
kick with the
Nice.
rum, but it tastes yummy.
My trick to getting through the winter months is lots of flames. What's yours? Call us at 800-252-1025.
Well, we are walking in a winter wonderland. Unfortunately, it kind of sucks. You think if in the song it's going to be happy, but everybody's too cold and everybody's too unhappy. I should go have a hot buttered rum. Everybody's got a thing. Did you ever see what we talked about this yesterday? What Anderson Cooper wore on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
It was $3,500, but he had like bionic clothes that he could turn up the temperature to. I don't have that kind of dough, nor do I go anyplace where I'm that cold, but I do like his style.
Well, what is your tip or trick for getting through the winter months? That's the question we've posed at 800-252-1025. A tip or trick for getting through the winter months. Patrick in Lakewood, what is it for you?
Well, I was up in Montana with my family one time snowmobiling, and we got snowed in, and we woke up in the morning, and it was just piled up snow. I took one of the snowmobiles into town, bought a bunch of supplies for chili, came back, had chili for breakfast and lunch, and I'll tell you what, it was the gift that just kept on giving, Clark.
Here, if you guys remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, I had chicken corn chowder. Yesterday, it's still like 7:30 in the morning, a hot bowl of soup. Now, let me make Patrick upset for no good reason because there's no answer to this question. Ready? Hey, Patrick. Oh, he hung up. I was going to ask him, what do you like, beans or no beans in your chili? That seems to get people crazy no matter what side they're on.
He's right, though. Something about chili. It's just a real winter. Like, you can have soup all the time.
Yeah.
But chili just being super hearty.
$1,000 will buy you a couple bowls of chili, I bet.
I would say.
KZOK.com for all the details.
The cup of white chili at Taco Time, $1.79, and it's got like 170 calories, 70 calories. That is a really good deal. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with Taco Time's white chili.
That's
it's nice and warm and toasty. It only costs you $1. It's awesome.
What's your tip or trick for getting through the winter months? That's what we're talking about. What is it for you, Jill in Seattle?
I have a dawn simulator, and it's a light that comes on, full spectrum light, and it replaces an alarm clock, and it wakes you up with sunlight.
That's cool.
Does it gradually get brighter and brighter and brighter till you're awake?
And it's wonderful because I don't need an alarm to wake me up, and it's a nicer way of waking up.
I would tell you this, my doctor is all about that. My doctor, if my doctor is listening, and you know he's a big fan, would be sitting there going that she is a genius, that's the way to go awake in cycles.
Sam in Monroe, a tip or trick for getting through the winter months?
Yeah, absolutely. I love to have hot chocolate with cayenne pepper in it.
Oh, that sounds pretty
I
delightful.
don't know that I've tried that, but I really like it.
Well, so it warms you up and it spices you up and probably wakes you up as well.
Gives you maybe a little glow. I like it.
Yeah. What about Joe calling from Tacoma this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning, Joe.
Yeah, I got tired of when I parked on packed snow and ice. In the morning when I go to take off, all my tires would do is just spin.
Right.
So I started carrying a couple of composition roof pieces, and I put the comp part down, the aggregate down, and then back my tires up on it. So in the morning, you got good traction. You can take off. And also they make pretty good pads for when you're putting your chains on and off.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Your knees don't get soaked.
That's really smart, Joe.
It's smart, but how about, there's another smart thing? Don't live there. If you got to trick your tires to make them go in the morning, but it's a good spot when you put your chains on. You should not live anywhere you have to put your chains on.
Mark and Everett, a tip or trick for getting through the winter months?
Well, it's the various knowledge about scuba diving, and knowing that not only is the water temperature warmer than the air, but I have all this time from not doing yard work to go and see in the clearer waters of the winter water the mascot of the new hockey team, the octopus, or the Seattle Suckers.
Yeah, the Seattle Suckers, I think, was the thing.
Is that true, Danny? Danny, you're a diver. Is the water temperature really warmer than the air?
It depends on where you go. When you hit the level of the water, it's usually very similar. And then right underneath that, it is in fact water for the next, say, fathom, which is about 6 feet. And after that, it starts getting a little colder again. But technically, he's absolutely right.
That's a brave man who's going scuba diving in Seattle in the wintertime.
Well,
that's a crazy
in the water,
person.
It's nice and toasty.
Yep. Kat and Sheldon, your tip or trick for getting through the winter?
I finally found out about balanced spectrum lightings throughout my house. I use it summer and winter, but in the winter it particularly helps.
What
and
is
they're
it?
all fluorescent, so it's cheap. light bulbs that you get like at Lowe's or Ace or any place like that, and they're balanced spectrum. So I guess I could grow a house full of pot too, but you know.
Yeah, well, there's that. That'd certainly get you through the winter
You know
months.
they're tracking your purchases, right?
Let's talk with Drew in Tacoma.
Hiya, Drew.
Morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
So I like to load up the bed with a whole bunch of blankets and then sleep with the window open in the wintertime.
Yes.
Yeah. I wonder what that's all about, because me too.
Yeah, me too. That's so weird. I thought I was a weirdo.
Derek, do you do the same thing?
Hell no, I don't want to be cold. That's crazy.
No, you have all the blankets, so you're fine.
I'm not opening my window in winter. You're insane.
I think he's just too skinny. He might break.
Yeah.
If I can get in bed with my cat and my wife both on their backs with their feet in the air, I'm going to get in there and bundle up. That's gonna be wonderful.
Ray and Yelm, what's your trick for getting through the winter months?
Oh, I play a lot of guitar all the winter months. Yeah, we just play, woodshed all winter long. So what else you do? Open mics and things like that.
Do you do that? Do you do open mic? Are there a lot of open mics around?
All my life.
That sounds cool to me. I've been working on playing the guitar, and in my head, I'm dreaming of an open mic night.
Well, Ray will help you figure it out. Tell you where to go.
Keeps you warm in the winter.
Sure does.
Apparently.
Who knew? Let's go to Brian in Fife. A tip or trick for getting through the winter months?
Oh, I have the best one of all.
All right.
I listen to KZOK and the Danny and Sarah show.
He's right. I was going to mock him, but he's
Yeah.
absolutely right. That is the best way to stay warm all winter.
So I have a new car. I'm
yeah.
driving my Stinger from Car Pros Renton Kia.
Like a fancy sports car, too.
I must
super.
admit, it's really nice.
Yeah.
It is a super fancy sports car, but it wasn't like crazy expensive or anything. But you know what I love about this brand new Kia? I have a 3 setting on my seat warmers.
Oh, yeah.
And the old one, it was a 2.
Oh, I have 3 as well.
How?
But don't you always
How
want
many
it the
seats you
hottest?
got?
No. Each seat has 3 different settings of warmth. So
Okay.
you can be warm, warmer, or warmest. on
Sounds pretty cool, to be
on your
honest.
tushy,
Yeah.
But I mean, that's really what I need to get through the wintertime. The
Heated seats. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm shocked how much I use it.
Yep, me too.
I like to capture and kill a caribou, carve it out, and live inside it till the
Yeah.
winter's over.
I push my tushy heater in my
Into the dead
Kia.
caribou?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Tori, do you have a tip or trick for getting through the winter months?
I like to bring out my electric.
Your electric what?
My electric blanket, and then I make a cup of coffee and listen to Frank Sinatra.
That sounds fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Or I watch old Rat Pack videos. It's just awesome.
I was going to say, can I join you? But that sounded a little weird. so I
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
pretend to
ask her
say that.
anyway, and ask her in your filthy forecast voice. Come on.
Jason and Pulsebo.
This traffic report is brought to you by the TJ Martell Foundation. We are still dealing with some delays on I-5 northbound in Seattle at Seneca Street, and also on I-5 southbound in Everett right at Highway US 2. The carpool lane is currently blocked, causing some delays there as well. Join the TJ Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Think It Up. It is currently 46 degrees in Seattle right now with light rain showers. It's going to be a high of 49 today and a low of 42 with showers continuing into the afternoon. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
A suspected impaired driver was thankfully unharmed after she drove off the road along Bothell Everett Highway early this morning. The crash was reported around 4 a.m. near the highway and 240th Street. The female driver crashed the guardrail and into the Country Village complex, flipping over upon impact. She also hit a power pole that caused power outages in that area.
Yeah, I saw this on TV. Obviously, I didn't see it happen, but I got on the treadmill right after 4, and they were still sending crews down there. Didn't know what it was. So this lady was drunk or on drugs?
Impaired. Yeah, they did not specify which of those it was, but an impaired driver will mean one of those two. And as I said, thankfully, nobody hurt in this crash. One person was found unconscious after a fire broke out inside of an apartment complex in Bellevue early this morning. The fire broke out in the first floor apartment just after 6 a.m., and the victim was found in the hallway by the fire. Medics did CPR, rushed the victim to the hospital, and the fire, thankfully, was only contained to the one apartment, and they were able to put it out. Pierce County Sheriff's detectives yesterday opened a homicide investigation after 2 tow yard employees in Lakewood discovered a man's body inside the trunk of a car that had been towed there from Tacoma. The car had been towed. It was a Saturn sedan. It was privately impounded, and they popped open the trunk, and there was a fella.
Does Tacoma have a hot running mafia scene or anything like that?
I mean, if anywhere around here is going to be mobbed up, I think Tacoma's your best bet.
And they got the docks and stuff like that. I just happened to watch a thing. It's called The Mafia's Greatest Hits, and everybody was ending up back in the trunks of their own cars.
Right.
Shots were fired yesterday at a high school, according to the Highline School District. At New Start High School, one round entered the administration building. This is on 120th Street. King County Sheriff's Office says that one round went through the window and into a cabinet. It was stopped by a 3-ring binder. No one was hit or injured. The school, however, was in session at the time. The school was placed on lockdown, and law enforcement continues to investigate. No witnesses, no descriptions of the shooter, but they are going to continue to investigate this.
That's how you know when we're giving these kids way too much homework, is when a bullet can't go through their binders.
No, you're right. I like it.
A 29-year-old Hokkien woman was detained and taken to the hospital after she reportedly took mushrooms, then attacked a man with a hatchet.
Wow.
The events began shortly before 6 a.m. yesterday. The woman called the Grays Harbor Communication Center and said she had found Lindsay Baum and was going to kill the person that had her. Lindsay Baum.
I mean her mother?
I'm sorry?
I'm going to kill the person that had her.
The person that had her. Now, Lindsay Baum was 10 years old when she vanished from her home in 2009.
Oh, okay. I see.
Deputies soon responded to the reports that this woman with a hatchet had broken into a residence and was damaging furniture. The residents were able to talk her out of this and get out of our house. She did. They then found her at another residence she had broken into.
Wow, she's finding Lindsay Baum all over the place.
Yeah. I'd fight a girl with a hammer.
Yeah?
Like, I didn't get a hammer.
Hatchet.
I still got to go with a winner.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'd win that one. After I fight the cougar, I'm going to fight the deranged lady with the hatchet.
Okay, at least we know you're wrong about both.
Nah, you're totally insane. Was a woman like the hatchet expert? Did she take kung fu hatchet classes?
Are you expert in hatchet defense?
I'm a pretty good expert in not getting hit by the lady swinging an axe. They're kind
Really?
of slow. They're heavy.
29-year-old woman with a hatchet?
And a hatchet. It's not like
small.
a big. It's not like a big axe. It's a handheld. She can.
I got it.
She can get to you.
No, she got to raise it up. I already win.
How did
Okay.
Danny Bonaducci die?
Hatchet to the head.
He decided to fight a woman with a hatchet.
Well, I'm not going to fight a woman with a hatchet. I don't need a hatchet.
But you don't have Lindsey Baum, so she's not.
Right, so
this
that's
woman's obviously
why
not.
I feel free to say all the
Yeah.
things I'm saying because she's not after me.
It's closing time for another 39 Sears locations and 64 Kmart stores.
There are 64 Kmart stores remaining.
There will be a handful in Western Washington that will close. Now, there's a Sears on Aurora.
I'm a little hurt, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Dude, now, are you old enough to did you go there and get the blue light special with your mom?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, me too. That's
As
a
kid,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, I haven't been there in 100 years and like it wouldn't really affect me. Yet I don't want it to be gone.
Get one of those blue raspberry ices.
Yeah, I'm just getting over the pterodactyl. I mean, I never used it or anything, but it's gone. It makes me sad. Now Kmart,
The pterodactyl.
it's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no more.
Yeah, I miss it.
Okay.
Man, he's a lot older than I thought.
I guess.
I'm very upset that it's gone.
They'll have closeout sales at the affected locations beginning next week. So Sears on Aurora and Shoreline, Sears on Common Street and Federal Way, Sears in Chehalis, and the Kmart also in Chehalis will be closing in early April. It's a sad time.
It's an end of an era.
Yeah.
You've all been, I think we've all been to a hospital or gone to a doctor's office and you put on a gown.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they tell you if the opening should be in the front or the back.
Isn't it always in the back?
It's always in the back.
You put it in the front sometimes? I want to go to the hospital that you're staying
Yeah, me
at.
too.
If you are going to see a lady doctor and they
Yeah.
need to look at your lady parts and your top lady parts,
Oh.
your boobies.
Well, how about they just don't burden you with a little paper dress anyway?
Welcome to the news.
The boobies.
Your
you know.
top lady parts, you know, your boobies. What is happening?
Well, most of the time, if you're in the hospital, say you get it checked into the hospital,
Right.
it's always the back, right? And if
Yeah.
you wanted to go for a walk, everything's just flapping in the wind for everybody
Yeah.
to see. Until now, there is a new company that have a new gown that will get rid of the, quote, embarrassing backside exposure, end quote. They said the current patient gown ties in the back and it reinforces a power imbalance between patients and caregivers because your butt's hanging out for the whole world to
Yeah,
see.
there's a very good chance I'm against this story, so please continue.
Well, they've created a new design that will allow for more coverage while still allowing medical staff easy access. So if you need to insert IVs, you need to check vitals, it's just a brand new gown.
But I'm supposed to sit there and think, in this situation in the hospital, Doc, you and me, total equals.
They said that this is has a pleat box that it's like a giant skirt
It does
with a
open in the
slit.
front.
Like if you had a slit skirt, and that way it would like unfold so they can get to the stuff, but it will then the flap will close so that you don't see your butt.
Sounds like a lot of work to cover my butt.
Yeah.
Just look at my butt.
You were in the hospital a couple of years ago. I mean,
I've been in the hospital a bazillion times.
did you like having your backside flapping out for everybody to say, "Oh, look, there's anybody do chest, he has red butt, cheetah butt"?
Yes.
And when you're laying in the bed, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I like it when people would run up like it was an emergency that I was unaware of and go, "Here, honey, let me get that," and they'd tie me up like I didn't have my ass in the air just 'cause I thought it was funny.
Who doesn't love cold pizza for breakfast?
Nobody I'm aware of.
Nobody I'm aware of.
Everybody loves pizza for breakfast,
Un-American
right?
bastard, that's who.
According to researchers, eating breakfast that is pizza, cold pizza for breakfast, is actually healthy.
Really?
A lot of people think, oh, geez, I need to have oatmeal or something. They said it's actually a very good source.
Didn't you have oatmeal today?
I did.
Yet I had a hot dog. Mine was yummier.
And apparently more healthy.
Yeah, who knew?
I didn't say a hot dog was healthier. I said
Oh, yeah, you did.
pizza.
No, I heard you say boobies and hot dogs are
That's
healthy.
exactly what I heard. And then
Show's
she pointed
over.
at you for no good reason.
Carbohydrates and protein, that everything is going to be right there in pizza. And you're likely this year going to see a lot more offerings of breakfast pizzas.
They're not bad. They have them in the airport sometimes, and they're not terrible.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be eggs, but that there's going to be a shift in perhaps the flours that are used. So you could use, instead of just a plain white flour, something that's a little more complex carbohydrates that are supposed to be healthier.
I don't know. Don't mess with my pizza.
Right.
Spelt and rye flour, stuff that's high in fiber.
Why do I care how you spell it? Seems silly.
Something else we all love, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. Something else we all love, Doritos.
Yeah.
They have something new called Doritos Blaze Chips. They are in stores now. They just came out, and people say, holy moly.
Okay, I'm in. I don't
Yeah.
even. She's not said what it is, but I'm in. All of a sudden, Doritos Blaze just already sounds yummy.
It's something you put it on,
Yeah.
or you put on the Doritos.
Well, just like Cool Ranch or the nacho cheese, it's flavored.
Yum.
Crazy hot. They
Yum.
said intense flavor eruption, amped up fiery heat. They said even the smell is enough to clear your sinuses. It's made with a ghost pepper. They said it's ghost pepper level spice that most
Okay.
people say
Yeah.
their face is melting off.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah, me
I
too.
just want to look at somebody and say erupt with flavor and see what they say to me.
All right, they're on shelves. If I'm reading this correctly, yeah, they're on shelves as of today. They went on sale yesterday. So, Paul, I'd love for you to find us a bag of Doritos Blaze.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Doritos Blaze flavored Oreos.
Oreos, yeah.
I would actually like that.
Yeah.
These are available now, 9.5 ounce bags for $4 or 3 ounce bags for $1.69.
Right.
Right.
Is this just make sounds
You
Friday?
said boobies and hot dogs are good for you.
Yeah, that's where I lost the plot right there.
Make sounds Friday. I know what that means. Lydia.
Neighbors in an English town are petitioning to have the name of their road changed because it's a euphemism. So again, this is in England. The name of the road is Bell End Road. So they've started a petition to change the name of Bell End Road.
Okay, I don't get it.
Yeah,
if
me
it was
either.
called Ass Slapper Highway, I would say, oh, that's kind of funny, but I'd
Right.
leave it alone. I wouldn't change it, but it sounds like something from the Beauty and the Beast.
And you said it's in England, right?
Yep.
Oh, they speak English there.
Yeah.
It's a euphemism for your who's-its.
Oh.
In England, a bell end means
Oh, so they
Darth
say,
Vader.
like, why don't you ring on my bell end, mate? Or something like that.
I don't think he's right, but okay, is he right?
Do we have any G-rated terms for a who's-its?
Yeah, how about Who's-Its?
Yeah, I mean, if you lived on Who's-Its Road, would you want the name of
No,
your road
I would say it was
changed?
named after me. But yeah, of course
Yeah.
I can live on Who's-Its Road. It's Dan Bonadici's Who's-Its.
Right.
They said a lot of people laugh when you say, oh, what's your address? And you'd say 69 Who's-Its Road. And then they laugh at you. So they're trying really hard now to get...
I'd laugh at you, too, if you said 69 Who's-Its Road.
Is that what she just said?
Yeah.
I must have gone blank on her saying that.
Who wouldn't laugh at you? You deserve to be laughed
What about
at.
those poor bastards that live in Intercourse, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Do they want the name of their whole town
They
changed?
should, yeah. They should change that. There's sort of a nice...
3 minutes to get out of that town.
3 minutes.
only if you're leaving twice.
Driving backwards.
A group of Newfoundland snowmobilers found something unusual during this massive snowstorm. Now, this big snowstorm has hit the entire eastern seaboard, all the way up into Canada, into Newfoundland. They were out snowmobiling when they found a moose that was buried up to its head in the snow. There was so much snow falling that the moose got buried. So they decided to help it out. And
It's got to
they-
be like 15 feet of snow. Those things are
you'd think.
gigantic.
Well, she hasn't said how big this moose is yet. Is it a baby moose? Is it a
No,
big moose?
it took them 15 minutes to dig the moose out. It was a regular-sized moose. That's how much snow is falling.
I'd have done stuff to it first.
What?
Oh, definitely you got to draw who's it's on its face with a Sharpie.
And put your finger in its lip and go. Done stuff you'll never do in life to a wild moose. And
Okay.
then let
Not
it go.
make that sound again.
No, make the sound and make the face. And for everybody watching on Danny TV, it's KZOK.com/Danny
A
TV.
finger to the side of the mouth, like corner me, and then you go. That's what I would do to that moose.
Tori, can you make that a video for our website, please?
Yep, right after the show.
All right.
A lot of people have been wearing fitness trackers. Many of you might have gotten a fitness tracker during the holidays. They're making them, it used to just be that thin band that
Right.
you'd wear. Yours looks more like a watch.
Yeah.
They
And
now-
I want the new one. Have you seen the new one?
Which new
It's
one?
a solid silver bracelet.
Yeah, they're
Oh, wow.
making a lot of jewelry looking ones now.
I want that. Doesn't do all the cool stuff mine does, but I want that anyway. It looks bitchin'.
I want the one that's implanted into your arm so that you don't have have to actually
you
put it on.
scoff, Mr. Man.
When you wanted a chip implanted into your head by the CIA?
When I wanted
I
a
did
chip
scoff
planted
at that,
anywhere.
yeah.
And then people start getting chipped left and right. They can open the door. They can get a soda out of the machine with their chip stuff.
Yeah, I want that.
Right. We want that together.
I've got bad news for y'all.
What?
Both of you are wearing your Fitbits. According to research out of Stanford University, the Apple Watch, the Fitbit, are hugely inaccurate. They said when it comes to counting...
I've noticed that. I get way more steps than it says. Like, I probably have 10 times as many steps as that thing says. I'm glad I'm finally validated by science.
I by the way, I disagree. I agree that it's open to interpretation. But when I do the treadmill in the morning, I do approximately 2.1 miles every single morning. And it says 2.1 miles on the treadmill when I push stop. And then I look at my thing, and it says you've done between 2 miles and 2.4 miles. It's really close.
It's not your steps that are off.
Oh.
It's how many calories you are allegedly burning. You can get all the steps you want, but if it tells you you're burning 1,000 calories, you're probably only burning 100. They said it's off by 93% when measuring calories burned.
Yeah, I got to tell you this. 3010 made some claims that made me very nervous as the spokesman for it. You want it to be accurate information.
Yeah.
And they said you really can't get on that treadmill as a way to lose weight. And I thought, that's crazy talk, Doc. Of course you can't. I looked it up. It's still like the last option to lose weight is exercise. It's all what you put in your mouth.
Right.
Well, and exercise is very important
Yeah,
for
you don't
heart
have a heart
fitness.
attack, right.
Right. It's very important to exercise. However, the study says don't rely on your Fitbit for reliability. It'll tell you how many steps, but don't be like, oh, yeah, I burned off all the pizza I ate for breakfast this morning, because you didn't.
Right. Okay. That's important.
Yep. Let's see. What else is making some news this morning?
Well, you tell us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this story. Have you guys ever, like, maybe you went skiing and you're like, oh my gosh, it was so steep. It was the steepest mountain. But you just have to take someone's word for it. And they're like, yeah, sure, it was the steepest mountain ever. Something really crazy happens and you try to explain it like, oh, it was such a close call. And everyone just assumes you're exaggerating.
If Paul tells me that he went skiing, went up to the top, went down a double black diamond whammy, I will not only wonder how steep the slope really was, I will just assume he didn't really leave his house. Then he's calling me from his house saying, oh, dude, I'm on the top of the black diamond, Dan.
I almost died.
Could have been killed twice.
Well, nowadays, there's video to prove a lot of what goes on.
Right.
Yeah.
And in one case, this man named Artem Chichenko was out with his drone. He was in the Bahamas, and he captured a crazy video. And he posted the video and said, do you still want to go to the Bahamas? It shows a kid in the water, and then all of a sudden he's surrounded by sharks, but the kid has no idea. The reason he doesn't know is because they're still far enough away that you can't see through the water.
Right.
But from the drone, you see this kid surrounded by sharks and walk out of the water just in the nick of time.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, the video is pretty wild. You can see it now at KZOK.com. But somebody's like, hey, Steve, get out of the water. He's like, okay. And there's all these sharks all around him. It's super crazy.
I'd fight a shark.
You would, but you've already been killed by the woman with the hatchet.
Yeah, I've lost a couple of these. I'd
So
fight
do you-
Molly Hatchet.
Yeah. Do you think this kid thinks that that's like the scariest thing ever or the coolest thing ever? You think he's showing all his friends the video? Like, look what just happened.
Kind of, a little bit of both, because honestly, it's sort of cool. But when you see those sharks that were clearly about to eat him, it's
Yeah.
super scary.
I don't know. If it was me, I'm sending that link to KZOK.com to every single person I've ever met.
Yeah.
I'm just bumping into people on the street. Hey, KZOK.com, check out this shark video. I almost got eaten. It was awesome.
But as for like missing a day of work or something like that, it's a video of sharks not eating you.
Yeah.
So you really still have to come back to work.
Yeah.
Well, they say what goes around comes around.
Yes, they do.
And
Yes, they do. See?
Often,
You can say that again.
Yes, they do. Forgot what I said.
oftentimes it is true of fashion. What goes around comes around. Some of the trends I've seen are just shocking, like acid wash jeans, the mom jeans that a lot of people are wearing. I don't get it. Don't do it. I know you, Danny, in the 70s endured a lot of fashion trends that you are fine having them
I
stay
am.
in the 70s. Well, one of the ones that's coming back is from the 80s, and it's the scrunchie. Y'all remember
They went
the
away?
scrunchie?
Hair scrunchies? Is that what I mean? Hair scrunchies?
Yes.
They went
those-
away? I thought that was totally a thing.
Yeah, me too.
When was the last time you saw a woman wearing a scrunchie?
Days ago.
Not a hair tie. That full-on, like, extra material. Looks like you're wearing a sock to hold your ponytail.
All right, I can either say, yeah, you're right, I haven't seen one, or I can say, yesterday. Which one would you like?
They have not.
I went into my wife's purse the other day, and I could not find what I was looking for because of all the scrunchies in her purse.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Okay, normally I'm lying. I'm not lying either.
Right.
I'm right with you. Holiday and Jelly Bean both have scrunchies.
Well, they've been out of fashion for quite a while
How
until
long could a
now.
6-year-old have been out of fashion, Sarah?
They're making a comeback, so much so that even
Maybe they're on the cutting edge.
Probably.
Amy, Holiday, Jelly Bean, all on the cutting edge of fashion.
very possible.
Girls.
Holiday is super fashionable.
Yeah.
Hermes
I love you, babe.
has come
I
out
love you too, babe.
with a scrunchie. It costs $112.
For a scrunchie?
Balenciaga, I can't even say the name of that one. The fancy one from Italy. $200.
Jeez, don't they know nobody wears these
Scrunchies.
things anymore?
Who's
Made
wearing a
of
scrunchie?
lambskin.
Last time I saw one was in the back of a Model T.
I hate all you people.
Did you say it's made of lamb chops?
Maybe I meant Mr. T.
Lambskin.
Oh.
Tori, are you wearing scrunchies?
I don't think I've ever worn scrunchies, honestly.
I don't believe
Because they were
anything
out
that
of
kid
fashion
says.
before she was born.
Yeah, pretty much.
I asked her who was responsible for the way the government's going these days, and she said something about the Balluminati. I don't trust a word out of that kid's mouth anymore.
It's Friday.
I know what that means. Oh, really? It's Friday, too.
Yeah, I know what that means.
It's time for the Friday Fun Fact.
Woo!
Our Friday Fun Fact for today, well, it's International Bean Day.
International Bean Day.
There are over 40,000
Lydia.
different bean varieties in the world. The top bean producing states in the United States: North Dakota,
Yeah.
Michigan, and Nebraska.
Yeah, I get that.
Believe it or not, I thought kind of California would be in there.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not, 40 tons of baked beans are eaten in Great Britain every hour.
Yeah.
They love their
They
baked
love
beans.
their baked beans. And
For
their-
breakfast, too, right?
their bangers and mash and
Yep.
crazy foods.
The average American only eats 1/4 of the beans that average Britain does, but we still do eat a lot of
On the
beans.
flip side of that, the average Great Britain guy has 4 times the teeth that the Americans have.
Plus, beans, the musical fruit.
Musical or magical?
Musical. Wait. Musical fruit.
Oh, I always
The more
went
you eat,
magical.
the more you toot.
Musical makes more sense.
Yeah, it does.
Well, what happens next?
I don't know. It's your
Oh,
story.
the more you toot, the better you feel.
So let's have beans at every meal.
So do Britons feel that much better than us? They have universal health care. So.
Sorry, I brought
Good
this
help.
up.
Now all I can do is think of a bunch of people with weird accents and bad teeth walking around farting all over England.
Well, that's a great image to leave you with. While we take a short break, when we come back, we will tell you a record has been broken, the most successful tour of all time.
Wow.
We've got breaking news about the most popular game show on television, and the Gas Man will be joining us next to talk about all things sports.
Bitchin'.
This traffic report is brought to you by Think It Up. Seeing most of the roadways looking pretty good this morning, but you have a minor delay on I-90 eastbound as you make your way past East Mercer Way. And over in SeaTac on I-5 northbound, again, seeing just a small delay as you make your way past 188th Street. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
In music news, Guns N' Roses' Not in This Lifetime tour topped the $475 million mark in gross sales when they wrapped up their 2017 tour on November 29th. It's set to resume in Europe this summer. They have played
How much?
$475 million gross.
It's amazing.
They played to more than
It is gross. Seriously, that kind of money.
Didn't I pick Guns N' Roses as the answer to something today?
And it was wrong.
Most album sales,
Most album sales.
vinyl
Right,
sales,
right.
yeah.
They've played to more than 4.3 million fans worldwide, been at 123 headlining performances on 5 continents. They are now the 4th highest grossing tour of all time.
Who's ahead of them?
They surpassed Roger Waters' The Wall, earning $459 million. U2 heads up the all-time list, $736 million from their 360 Stadium tour. That's followed by the Rolling Stones and Coldplay.
Unbelievable.
I would not have thought Coldplay would have had more than
They have
many.
legions and legions of fans,
Yeah.
those guys. Plus, I root for that dude.
Oh yeah, I mean I love the band, but that's 1 year grossing $523 million.
Can you imagine how difficult it is for a real live rock star to be married to? Well, not Gwen Stefani. What's her hell's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. What a
Yeah.
nightmare. You know, the lady that owns Goop. Oh, yeah, perfect.
Paul McCartney says he's putting the finishing touches on a new studio album. He reported in March of last year that he was working with Adele and the producer for the Foo Fighters. This will be his first solo record since 2013. And he said things are going really well. He's putting on the finishing touches. He said hopefully the fans will love it. Now we'll keep
The
you
fans
posted.
will buy it. I know that.
Yep. We'll keep you posted on the release date. There is none yet. Fox announced it has renewed its X-Men spin-off series, The Gifted, for a second season. According to Twitter, the war is not over.
Ah, spoiler alert. The war's not over.
This stars Jamie Chung, Emma Dumont, Stephen Moyer, and a bunch of people I've never heard of.
Yeah.
You had heard of those people?
Stephen Moyer's from True Blood.
Oh, okay.
He was the male lead, Bill.
Bill? Yeah.
Season 1 wrapped with a 2-hour finale, or is wrapping with a 2-hour finale on January 15th. I am guessing none of us are watching The Gifted.
No.
It was a clever name, though.
But now that we know the war's over, do we really have to
Yeah, it
watch?
doesn't matter anymore.
No, the war is not over.
Oh, well, then we better
Then we
tune in.
definitely have to watch.
That's why we have season 2. Alex Trebek has posted a video to YouTube shocking people this morning.
Well, put some pants on. You're a Canadian.
He revealed he had surgery over the holiday break to remove blood clots in his brain caused by a fall he suffered a few months ago. He was wearing a Jeopardy hat, which Alex Trebek is not really a hat-wearing type of guy.
No.
He had surgery on his brain and said he is taking leave from Jeopardy. I tried to dig into this a little bit. I think that the show is stopping.
Oh, really? They're not going to have a guest host?
I don't think so.
Have they ever had another host?
No.
Yeah.
Never. He has hosted Jeopardy for 33 years, and the only other time he has had to take a step back was he had a knee replacement. He had tore his Achilles chasing a burglar from a hotel room.
Nice.
He had a mild heart attack, so 3 issues, and now this brain surgery. So I don't know if you guys remembered to watch this. We had the 4 Battle for Stardom.
Oh,
last
yeah, I watched
night.
it.
I forgot to watch it.
Yeah, I tuned in.
All right.
Challenge!
Challenge! Nobody yelled that last night. Although I only watched, it was a 2-hour premiere, and I was only able to watch the first half. So I still have to watch. I recorded the second half. But nobody had yelled challenge
Oh, yeah.
in the first
P.
hour.
Diddy was yelling challenge.
But I did get to see a challenge.
Nice.
So that was kind of cool. So the format is neat because the newcomer performs, and then the 4 panelists, the 4 judges, decide whether they're good enough to challenge somebody or not, and all 4 of them have to vote yes. And then the newcomer gets to challenge one of the 4.
Sounds kind of bitching, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
it's a lot more battle. It's a lot more
I
kind
like
of
the battle. They used to do
fight.
something like that on, I forget which one of the shows I was watching, but they battle towards the end. These guys got smart and go, hey, let's battle in the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
Well, don't miss an action-packed next episode of the 4 Battle for Stardom next Thursday night, 8 o'clock on Fox. Stephen King has announced the release of his latest book. It's entitled The Outsider. It'll hit stores on May 22nd. He's been putting out a lot of books recently. Finders Keep, Mr. Mercedes, End of Watch. This one, The Outsider, is a crime novel, 576 pages about the disappearance of an 11-year-old boy and popular Little League baseball coach who is accused of his murder.
Wow.
Murder.
Dark.
Well, it's not like Stephen King is known for his uplifting
That's
romantic comedies from Stephen King.
Rom-coms from Stephen King.
Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch has become the fastest-selling console in U.S. history. The home console that players can take wherever they go, launched on March 3rd. In 10 months, had sold more than 4.8 million units in the United States. That is the highest for any home video entertainment gaming system in U.S. history.
Now, do you have to plug it into something?
Derek, how does this work?
So it's both. It can plug into your TV in what they call the docked mode, and it's also portable, so you can take it wherever you want. That's hence the Switch term, is it can be a portable or a home console
All right,
system.
but let's say you bring it and you meet me here with yours. Where do we play it?
So you could just hold it in your hands. The controller stacks into the screen, so you have the buttons on each side.
Super
So
cool.
yeah, you can just play it right here in the studio.
Does it play classic games, old school games, or is it new games?
Mostly new games, but they do have an e-shop where you can buy older titles digitally through the storefront.
Oh, that's cool. That's what I want.
It's all very cool.
Fox has announced the first ever extended-length Family Guy episode. It'll be happening in the spring, and it will feature limited commercial interruptions. It's an episode entitled Send in Stewie, Please. And they revealed this plan yesterday. It'll star Ian McKellen as the school's child psychologist.
Neat.
Which I think Stewie probably needs.
Sorry, Stewie needs a psychologist. Everybody needs $1,000. KZOK.com to find out how to win.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The UW Huskies men's basketball team heads to Pullman tomorrow to face the Cougars. Tip-off is at 1. And we've got a couple of football games happening this weekend. Tomorrow, Titans-Chiefs, Falcons-Rams. Sunday brings us Bills-Jags, Panthers-Saints. To talk a little bit more about the sports world, joining us is the Gas Man.
Hey, what's up, Gas Man?
Hang on, I'm texting. What's the word I got to text again? I want to win a grand here.
KZOK.com.
Timing. I mean, I'm really sorry about that. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you, Gas Man. Everything feeling all right?
Yeah, you know what? I gotta be honest.
That's a little personal, don't you think, Danny?
I wanted to know if everything was feeling all right.
Give him a second to feel.
I've told him before I'm available 24/7, and part of that is asking me how I feel. Things are feeling good right now.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But your world must be kind of turned upside down at the moment. Teams are kicking people out. Coaches are fired. Other coaches are getting rehired. We're firing some guys. I don't even know. What's up, Gas Man?
Yeah, it's always a tough week in the NFL. It's easy for all of us as fans and observers to sit back and go, that guy ought to be fired. And then the week comes and, look, these guys get paid a lot of money, and they know the deal when they get in. But we're talking about families are involved, kids, schools, all this stuff, and all of a sudden, hey, this whole staff is fired, or these 3 guys are fired. So it gives fans, it's almost like a sugar rush. It gives you that brief satisfaction, but then you really don't know, until you see what happens down the road if it's going to work. But obviously, it's a performance-based business, and when you're not performing, as a player, you're at risk of losing your job, and as a coach, in this week in particular, you're in danger of losing your job.
And people are starting to do that left and right. People are in danger, but people have already been fired,
Tons,
right?
Yeah. Gasman, tell us about the kicker situation for the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, I don't know if we even know who's. I think Blair Walsh has made his last appearance as a Hawk, and he's an easy target right now. I don't even want to pile on him. I mean, he had a miserable year. This is not to excuse him. He's getting paid to make kicks, but this isn't how he wrote the script. He didn't think this is how it was going to go. you can say, well, if he had been better, they'd have won 3 more games. You can also say if the team had been better, they wouldn't have had to count on him for those. It's, excuse me, somewhere out in the middle. I don't know who they're gonna get. I mean, they signed some guy, and I mean they'll bring guys in, but it's not going to be Blair Walsh for next year. And letting Stephen Hauschka go becomes a real red mark. And they say, well, salary cap, and we couldn't afford to keep him. It's like, well, if you'd kept him, maybe you're in the playoffs again.
And guess who's in the playoffs? Stephen Hauschka.
Bills and Stephen Hauschka.
Yeah, they are that's true.
Now, what do you think for this weekend? Do the Buffalo Bills stand a chance? Who do you think is going to be a shining star with these 4 games happening this weekend?
I like the Bills just because I don't know, they're big underdogs and they got a tough game at Jacksonville. But I mean, Buffalo hadn't been in the playoffs since 2000 or 99. It's fun to root for a team that hadn't been there for a while. I'll tell you the team I want to keep an eye on in the NFC, and they're playing this weekend. And I mean, you can always go with the favorites. I like New Orleans. You know, Drew Brees is so good and has played in so many big games and knows what it's like to get to a Super Bowl and to win it. It's a long road for them, but I kind of like them right now. You know, the way he's playing, the way they're playing as a team, they've got a home game this week, and then they'll have to go to either Philadelphia or Minnesota. I think Philadelphia's got their hands full without Carson Wentz as a quarterback, so I kind of like New Orleans' path maybe to get into the Super Bowl, and I think in the AFC, you know, it's clearly the Patriots, and the bummer for Seattle fans who can't stand the Patriots is the one team that appears poised to knock them off is Pittsburgh, another team we've got a very complex relationship with. So I don't think we're going to like whoever comes out of the AFC.
I'll tell you this, I cannot bring myself to root for a football team that plays in a city I don't like. It's just not the way, you know, I don't take it that seriously. If I don't like your town, I'm not rooting for you.
So who don't you like?
I don't like New Orleans, but I like Drew Brees a lot. I think he's really great at what he does and an affable guy, and that goes a long way with me.
One of my favorite moments was when they New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl, and Drew Brees went on Oprah, and she licked her thumb and tried to wipe off his birthmark because she thought it was lipstick.
Jeez.
It was so embarrassing.
How would you like to have been the production assistant that she blamed for that faux pas?
Why didn't somebody tell me it was a birthmark?
Hey, Gasman, something else that is happening in the sports world. The Sounders announced their schedule. Can you tell us anything that you see happening for the Sounders in this next season for them?
I think more of the same. You know, this organization, it's not a fluke when you're good for this many years in a row. And along the way, they've turned the roster over a couple of times. They've proven themselves to be really good at talent acquisition. They've proven themselves to be really good at getting better over the course of a season, and that's a big key to it. I kind of like how the schedule sets up. You know, the kind of the big wisdom right now is, well, they're not playing a lot of games early. That's good. You know, they just stopped playing about 9 minutes ago, and we're already talking about the new season. So I think they'll be able to ease into it, and I'm always bullish on that franchise. You know, what they've done, what they continue to do. They're not perfect, but boy, do they win a lot. And that's really in pro sports. That's the end of that. That's the bottom line.
And the full schedule for the Seattle Sounders is on our website, KZOK.com. One last question about the Sounders. We do have a couple of national games. They're going to be on Fox. Do you think that there is a greater national interest in Major League Soccer? Obviously, it's huge in Seattle, but do you see it getting bigger nationally?
Right now, no. It is stagnated. Now, let me back up. Yeah, I do eventually. They've had an interesting career arc, MLS. You know, they've been around for 22, 23 years now. So, I mean, they're the first league to finally get a toehold in American sports culture. In my opinion, about 2 or 3 years ago, they kind of leveled off in their growth. Not just the Sounders here, but the league itself. And the numbers have been a little flat. They've expanded a lot. The Atlanta story is great. They're going to start growing again, I believe, soon. But for now, the last couple of years, things have gone a little bit flat in the world of MLS in terms of TV ratings and in terms of attendance in a lot of their cities. So I do believe it's going to last. It's going to continue to grow. But right now, it appears a bit flat to me.
And lucky for us, though, our team is the shining star in the league.
Hey, by the way, I'd just like to point out that if you would like to see the Gasman's latest work, you can just go to KZOK.com. It is up there right now. Thanks, Gasman.
Happy New Year, guys.
Take care.
Thanks, Gas. Oh, hey, guys, it's Friday.
I know what that means.
We've got a couple of new movies in theaters. Molly's Game is opening up. It stars Jessica Chastain, the handsome Idris Elba, American Treasure Kevin Costner.
All right, I'm rooting for this movie.
Michael Cera and Chris O'Dowd. This is directed by Aaron Sorkin. It's rated R, and it's based on the true story of Molly Bloom, a young, charismatic Olympic hopeful skier who has to abandon her career due to injury. She then takes a new job, which has to do with high stakes poker and the mafia and the mob and the FBI.
This is a real story?
Based on a true story.
Oh, I'll totally go see this. Plus, it's got that handsome dude, egregious elbows in there. I love him.
Aaron Sorkin makes great
Yeah.
TV and movies too.
He's got a decent history with stuff like Moneyball, A Few Good Men, and more. Derek, what are the reviewers saying about Molly's Game?
Molly, you give me the jollies, 82% fresh.
How's you earn that nickname? All right, thank you. Very nice.
Insidious is back, and this is Insidious: The Last Key. I think this is the third or the fourth or
The last one for sure.
fifth. Or
Yeah, I believe that.
So Lee Wanell is back. It stars a woman named Lynn Shay. This is a thriller horror movie, and this is the same thing with all the other Insidious movies. It's super scary. This has to do with the doctor who is a parapsychologist who has to face her fears in her own family home.
Parapsychologist? She only doctors up on people in wheelchairs.
What do the reviews have to say
I
about
thought she had
Insidious?
split personalities and they're both psychologists. It's a
No,
parapsychologist.
a parapsychologist. I like it.
The key to happiness is avoiding this movie at all costs. 22% rotten.
Wow. Oh, my goodness gracious. Rotten.
We've got one last movie that is in limited release. It's a thriller sci-fi movie called The Beyond. This story chronicles a groundbreaking mission that sends astronauts modified with advanced robotics to a newly discovered wormhole in the void.
I like it.
The Beyond, science fiction. What do the reviewers have to say?
This movie is beyond reviews, no tomato rating
Not
yet.
a tomato.
But
What?
if you're into movies about space robots, you probably have no social life anyway, so go see it.
All right, thanks for that little tip from my friend Derek.
All right.
All right. Hey, you know who loves... No, I was going to say something weird about his penchant for radio, for robots and stuff. I don't know. Our good friend and love pumpkin, Steve Sladen's going to come in here and he's going to play you a bunch of classic rock and roll because that's what he does. Have a great weekend and bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by unbound.org. On Mercer Island, I-90 eastbound at East Mercer Way, we have an early